Yo, what up, everybody? August 12th, episode 4. Like the video, subscribe it, because you're going to probably get bored and just stop watching at a certain point, so we got to get you somehow. Also, follow us on Instagram at Modern Times Pod, ZKAlley36, SJ Rosenberg 1. I got the one, the only, the homie OG. ZKAlley36, Zander. Boop, 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 boop. Yo, bro, what it do?
Shit.
It's been a minute.
Chilling. Eating that cilantro.
What?
Just eating some cilantro out here. I'm just chilling, man. I just got back from California like a few days ago. So I guess not that recently. I got back on
The 8th,
Wednesday.
The 9th, the 10th?
Wednesday. I got back on Wednesday. And
it's like a vortex of time. None of y'all know when the days come out. And what's funny is like we always talk about the date and then like release it like 2 days later. But it's
I
just...
know. It's like the day that we
Who
say...
gives a what day it is?
I mean, there's almost no reason that we don't stream it, you know? Like, I think we should... We have the ability to stream it easy. We have the YouTube account. People,
I mean... Comment.
No one's...
You guys are gay.
Whoever's gonna watch is gonna watch, you know.
For sure.
I don't need them to watch it live. It's almost just easier to have it posted automatically.
Yeah.
Then I don't have to do any video converting, like any of that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So that would be cool. One day, guys, we're gonna have this streaming live on YouTube. Maybe sooner than later.
Maybe sooner than later. We got the capabilities.
I know how, so we can make it happen.
All right, so you came back from California. What did you do in California? What did you do, bro?
Man, it was so awesome. Like
beaching it. I saw you at 10th.
Yeah,
Planet,
did a couple beach days, couple jiu-jitsu, no-gi grappling days. Did some. I went to a comedy show. I went to Steve-O's comedy show. He tours now. He has a bit here. He has a, we'll say, an hour. He's got
a bit. He's got
a special, or he has an hour, and the whole theme of it is his bucket list. So imagine
really quick. Do you think the bucket list grew since he's been on Jackass, or did it shrink? Or like...
Oh, dude, he's still equally crazy. There's some like last year he literally like blew himself up pretty much. He was trying to like demolish his kitchen. He was trying to blow up his kitchen so his fiance could remodel it. And he literally like did what's called fire angels. Like instead of snow angels, he had like all this like gunpowder basically poured all over the floor of his living room, and he was doing fire angels laying on the floor on this gunpowder, and they lit it up, and he got like 3rd-degree burns all over his body. 15% of his body now is skin grafts from cadavers, from dead people. Dang. And dude, there's like during this comedy hour, it's the only time I've ever seen this during like a comedy show. He had like a projector, and there was like a big pull down screen, and he would show us videos. He would tell us about the stunt that was on his bucket list. He'd tell us the bit, and then he'd show us a video of it. And it was great. It was actually really good. I was like surprised at how good at comedy Steve-O is, because he's just a professional clown is what he is. But then now I'm not talking down on comedy. I'm saying that he just does wild stuff and videotapes it. That's what he does. Comedy is hard. Comedy's an art. I was surprised that he was that good at it, like pretty fresh. You know, it was really cool. It was a cool show.
It's gotta be maybe
he
like
said
2 years.
It's not that long. Yeah, in the past few years, like he has a bit. He talks about John Jones and Conor McGregor. He's like buddies with Chuck Liddell. He talks about Chuck Liddell. He says like one of the things for his bucket list, he wants to have Conor and John Jones just like give him cauliflower ear. Like he's like that would be like he just like tries to have the craziest things on his bucket list. He tries to one up everyone else's. Like everyone says they want to go skydiving. What he did is he literally went skydiving with strapped naked to a dude while like beating off, pretty much. Like he like nutted in while skydiving, like strapped to his, when you go skydiving, you legally have to have someone like with you, and these dudes were naked, and Steve-O was beaten off. And there's like a video of it. He showed us a video of this crazy shit. It was a cool comedy show. Do you think that's the
Jackass like residual money, or like how are you doing?
Dude, he's a wild guy. That's just his personality.
How do you get that done?
He's so wild.
And he makes money off of it.
Oh yeah, He makes lots of money.
Jeez.
He seemed like such a cool dude. Like, after every comedy show, you just love the comedian. But, like, I was, like, in love with Steve-O after this show. I was like, damn, this guy's crazy. His dog came out, and his wife came out a little bit, like, during the show just to get the dog off stage because the dog was trying to stay on a little too long.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was sweet. California was awesome. Yeah, I went to the beach a couple days. It was so much fun. Got to train. Got to hang out with my sister, eat some good Mexican food, eat some sushi. Just like,
what was that like? It was probably so fresh.
It was good. It was pretty good. I didn't have that much. I just had like a roll and a half.
Dang, a roll and a half?
That's it.
You are very nice.
They were like the big special rolls though. It wasn't like a little 6-piece, California roll or like Negihama roll. It was like those big like specialty rolls, like like bunch of stuff, big packed rolls with like.
That sounds dope.
It was ooey. It was fire.
What I was gonna say to you is that now, did you feel like you got to complete everything that you wanted to do going to California?
I mean,
or was it because it was like so short? You were just like, hey, I just have a certain amount of things.
It was perfect. I think it was really perfect just because I'm so busy this summer, like with this podcast and with jiu-jitsu and working these jobs and. Working multiple jobs and a little school. Now I'm off school. I mean, I'm competing. Yeah, exactly. Getting ready for hunting.
You're competing?
I'm competing in like
a week.
In like 6 days. Yeah, next Saturday. So.
Dang.
Are you competing?
No.
No. Okay. Well, yeah. So I mean, I've been like really busy.
We'll talk about why
I'm
not competing.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Look at your face.
Okay, it's okay.
He's like smart decisions. Smart decisions.
It's just stuff happens,
Acting like a Clooney.
Gotta take care of our bodies a little bit. But
But so dope. So you felt like you got everything.
I got out of it what I wanted. The whole goal of going to California was to visit my sister. It was my birthday present for my parents. I asked for like tickets to visit my sister.
Oh, that's so dope.
So that's what my birthday present was. So,
what a ladies, he's a family man.
I mean, I don't have like the closest relationship with my sister, so I like to at least like spend some personal time, just me and her, like, and hang out and like try to be like close as possible with my sister. Like, just like I told you, we were never that close, but like our relationship is just like to bring each other joy and to like be there for each other. We never fight. We never like argue. I mean, we argue sometimes, but it's like. We don't get into it like a lot.
It's
of
like
siblings.
who ate the last of the cinnamon toast crunch. Like.
Yeah, we don't do that. It's like we just try to like appreciate each other and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good relationship. I wish we were like a little closer. But I mean, out of it, I got what I wanted. It was a good trip. Dope. It was the right amount of time. I couldn't have been there too much longer. I have a lot of stuff to get done here. In my life, I can't just ignore my life and run away. Vacation's good, but I'm happy to be back in the grind of things, my priorities.
Did you feel like you had to take a vacation for your vacation?
I had to take a vacation this summer. Like, I had to treat myself after getting an A in this summer class. It's like, I mean, I work hard during the semester and like I have to sacrifice things, and now I'm on break, so I get to take advantage of it, go on vacation. Now I'm training more than I was 3 weeks ago or whatever. Now I can actually train more, maybe even do 2 classes a day, start training more and like having more free time, enjoying my time, like going on hikes around here and getting in the sun. I've been doing that, and you've been also, so we'll get into that.
Yeah. So that was so dope. All right, so you went to Cali, got the sushi, 10th Planet. Was there anybody that you were just like
I mean, like the coach at 10th Planet, like he knows Professor Isaiah Wright. So
dope.
So he asked like, where do you train? I told him I train at Easton. The first thing he asked, he was like, oh, do you know Isaiah? I was like, oh yeah, Isaiah was like my first like coach.
He
when
got
I was
us
a white
into
belt.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he was my coach when I started, like when I very first walked into the gym.
Yeah,
he was my fundamentals coach. So I mean, it was cool. So I connected with him. He was a brown belt. He fights on Fight to Win pro cards. He knows Seth.
Dope.
So like
the community.
It's like obviously he understands that I'm a paying student of a gym, and like I'm in the grappling community, and like Valor actually like has a relationship with the I think his name is Professor Ron Turner. He's like one of the owners of the Monster Squad gyms of 10th Planets out in California, in Southern California.
Dang.
So originally when
just name dropping. This guy is just
sorry,
like
I'm just name dropping
high level
black belts. Like no,
like
but,
he's like, yeah, you know, we just get to, you know, just
train. No, I mean that's
kick it on the regular.
That's what's nice about the whole jiu-jitsu community, though.
Yeah,
is
no,
like
for real.
Valor goes to California all the time, and he trains when he travels. Like he's a jiu-jitsu enthusiast. His life is jiu-jitsu, so he trains. Like, and you know, he has built relationships over time, competing in California, training in California, stuff like that. So
yeah,
I knew, like, this is a year ago before I went. Not even recently, but a year ago when I went to California, I asked him, like, this is the area I'm going to be staying in. Like, what are some gyms around here that it would be cool if I trained at? So he said, like, this 10th Planet. Yeah. So that's kind of like my vacation spot because I go to, shout out to 10th Planet. Thank you for your hospitality, letting me train. Shout out to Easton Training Center and all my professors and coaches for looking out and being there for me.
Yeah.
And for us, it's a great community.
For sure. No, I think it was dope that you got to go out there, get to train. That's probably like, you know, I want to like, if we ever make enough money one day, if we make enough money, like I just really want to just travel like the U.S. and just train jiu-jitsu. Is that weird?
Oh, okay. No, there's some people that get to do that. That would be awesome.
I want to do that.
That would be awesome.
I want to do that every day.
I mean, that doesn't have to be your whole entire life, but even if you could like take a few weeks off and just go travel this gym, get a little route, go on a little road trip, hit this stop, hit this stop, hit this stop, that would be fun. Like then you get, I think cross training is so important, man. I mean, it's really good to be really loyal to like a gym and like you can't jump from gym to gym. Like it doesn't look good. You're not gonna like get promoted on the right track. You're not showing your faithfulness to a gym and like you're not showing consistency and like so it's good to like be faithful to one gym. I like want to be like an Ethan Snow white to black belt. Like I don't want to ever like switch from Easton before I get my black belt. It's like that's like my other degree. Like I'm getting a degree in biochemistry. I'm also getting a degree in like whooping someone's ass. Like for real though, it's like a lot of money and it's equal amount of time. It's like fucking 8 years. That's like a PhD. It's like it takes like 8 years to get your black belt. That's of consistent training and dedication. Like obviously everyone's path is different and everyone has hiccups along the way, but it's like it's 8 years minimum almost. Like it's about 8 years to get your black belt. Who are you
excited to be the next black belt at Easton?
Dude,
I brought it up.
I think you should know my answer. There's one brown belt that's like one of my best friends.
I would say Grant.
Yeah, exactly. But also Tim Carrier because
Coach Tim. And
he's
what
put
about
effort.
Coach Tony?
Oh, and yeah, dude, Tony is a.
Look at your face.
See now, Tony. When you mention Tony, you can't name drop Tony because like of those three, I think Tony's probably winning most of those roles. Would you say? I mean, I don't want to talk. I mean, I think Grant and Tony
Grant's
have good roles.
gonna beat the crap. Grant's
gonna fucking smother me now. Sorry, Grant.
We'll figure out what the minute mark is for Grant so that we'll tag Grant. We're going to tag Grant.
Look. Oh, no.
This is what your best friend said about you,
I mean,
homie. Just kidding.
Man. I think Grant would understand. Like, Tony is Flow City. Grant and Tony have different kinds of games. Like,
I love Tony Tony just is like, he just goes really slow and he's just like, he doesn't say anything. He's super nice about it, but it's just like, dude, come on.
He could have a conversation with you during a roll and like not.
We could talk about the Hibson particle.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll get 5 minutes in.
Exactly. That dude is.
And he'll still tap me like 6 times.
He's so strong and he uses no strength in his rolls. He's so technical and flowy and just like he has perfect pace and like technique. It's awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Tony getting his black belt. I'm obviously excited about one of my best friends, Grant, getting his black belt because I think Grant is going to be the first white to black belt under Ethan Snow. Like the first Ethan Snow white to black belt.
Okay,
like,
fair enough. Yeah.
Ethan has given out black belts, but he's never had someone that started as a white belt knowing no jiu-jitsu and all of, like being your professor through his whole career. That's like his black belt. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Grant has the opportunity to be the first like real Ethan Snow black belt. Like white to black belt. You get what I mean? Like,
yeah.
his dude. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, I want to be that eventually, because that, not first, but because there's going to be many more before me. Like, Jake is definitely going to get his black belt before me, obviously.
The Obi-Wan Kenobi of Easton, and he hates it every time I call him that too.
Dude, he kind of is. He's like, the thing about Jake is he has such an important role at that gym. Like, he runs his own kids class.
He connects with the kids, and he helps the kids so much. Like, whether your kid is, A to Z, fit to rip, and then the ones that, have certain excuse me.
Yeah, he's a kid's jiu-jitsu wizard, basically.
Yeah,
is what
he's
you're
like the
trying to
kid
say.
whisperer.
So
yeah.
it's, I mean, Jamin is the kid whisperer. Jamin is really the kid whisperer.
Yeah.
But like, Jake also has a super key role. He has a few super key roles, but it's like, he cleans that. He's in charge of the cleaning crew. He's the head of the cleaning crew.
Yeah.
It's like, when he's Dimitri's boss. You get what I'm saying? It's not like, I mean, Valor is Dimitri's boss, obviously, but Jake is Dimitri's boss. Like, Jake is the manager of the cleaning department of that gym, and like, that's really important for a martial arts gym. We train on those mats every day. Like,
yeah,
Jake's an essential role in keeping those clean. And he's an essential role in like the kids jiu-jitsu, and he's like a bad, like young competitor.
He's a cool badass.
He's I worded it very poorly.
The parents
but he's like a bad motherfucker.
That they're not.
That is not. He's really good at jiu-jitsu. He's a competitor that smashes people.
And he takes care of your kids. Like, he helps make sure that they're not getting hurt, and they're making sure they're learning, they have respect and everything. That's what I like about what Jake's doing.
Yeah.
Jamin doing.
It's like
all the professors that get to work with the kids. They all get the exact same. Professor Nick, 100% awesome. Professor Nick.
Yeah, I know. It's so hard for me to change the vocab of like people I've been calling Coach Matt, Coach Nick for like years and years and years. It's just ingrained into my brain, and now it's like Professor. Yeah, Professor. It's it's tough.
We screw up a lot. We're scrambling our brains, and sometimes getting mashed by people, and then they're like, what's 8 times 8? And you're like, 64, but my head's really woggy. You're just like, but it's dope though. All right, well, I think that's dope. Like you said, you had a good time at 10th Planet. You getting basically like our style, like our way out there, which is dope. And it was what, like a quick 5-6 day, or getting to hang with the family. That's awesome.
It was like 4 days, just me and my sister. Yeah. My parents were here.
Yeah. So last episode we had Kyle here. Kyle coming from New York. Had to recharge the batteries. And did we recharge the batteries? Like, I literally did more things in Colorado in this past week than I've done in 5 years of being here.
That's sweet, man.
Went to Steamboat. Steamboat was just off the chain.
Did you do Hot Springs?
We did yeah.
Where?
Not
in Steamboat Springs, or where?
Yeah, but it wasn't it where we wanted to go. Could have been better, but there was like a 45-minute wait, and that was not about to happen. So we went to this one spot though, because like Kyle wanted to go on a hike, which was dope, and we went on this hike. And like there was like a little half mile, just like looking around, like looking like far away from this amazing waterfall and like river and all this stuff that just looked hella dope, right? And then there was like, besides the river and like the waterfall that you can take pictures on, there's this amazing 2.5 mile hike to 9,000 feet elevation. And
that's crazy. So were you huffing?
Like, your boy was
huffing and puffing and blow that house down
for real. Like it was. I was like tough. Warren Sapp, like chasing like cake in retirement. Like just was like just dying. Like I was having a really, really hard time. But at the same time, like when we got up, like I would do like interesting bursts. Like I would try to go like one strip before like we hit the turn, and like get to the turn, like take a few seconds, chill, then just like hit it straight to the like the next turn, and then like take a second break, hit it, and just did it in like intervals. It took us about 2 hours to go 2.5 miles, which is really depressing.
But this is really steep, and like you're not. Are you on like a path?
I felt like it was definitely like a I don't want to say
a little trail, like
a little trail,
like,
man-made
game
stuff.
trail. Or,
Yeah. It was intense. And then when we started getting to it wasn't intense until we started getting to the top. Then we got to the top, and there was like a lot of like weird obtuse angle like aspects of like this mountain, and we were getting up there. There was some loose rock, and like you could like and then you can really fall down a good bit, like a good bit.
Yeah.
And so we're chilling, and we keep getting up, and then we finally get to like pretty much one of the top like summit points of like this waterfall and creek, like kind of like where like it mainly starts at, and then it just hits all the way down from the 2.5 miles that we just walked up. And so like me and Kyle are there, and we're just like, dude, like we did it. Like
it's just you and Kyle, right?
It was me, Kyle, and Justin. You know Justin. Shout out to Justin Skywalker, my dude, my homie. But the roomies. So
okay.
Yeah. So Justin, got us out there. I looked up it was called Fish Creek Falls. It was really dope. But when we got up there, man, like the pictures we were taking, and then like it was kind of getting sketchy because there was really like dark clouds, and there'd be like a light sprinkle, and you hear some thunder, and you're like, oh no, we're gonna be in it.
Yeah.
And then it would like go away, but then it would come back, and then it would go away.
Did it ever pour on you?
It didn't. Oh. So like we're seeing the waterfall. We're seeing the waterfall and like how it's hitting, and then like there's all these little rocks around it, and it looks like a perfect like natural just pool. There's like one here, and then there's like another one that's dipped down like another 10 or 15 feet, and it's also like a little pool, and then it like works out to be like the river, and then it going down, and probably doing the same thing like multiple times going down. And so I go to we walk across this very weirded angle aspect again, but it was sketch. Like it like it should like we should.
Is this like a river crossing? What is this?
To give you an idea, and like I know like that people can't see what I'm talking about right now, but the video that I can show you here, I mean, you're gonna be like, what are you guys doing? So I won't even play it, but take a look at that, and just look at that angle that Kyle and I are on.
Oh, this is your video. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can show this. This is your content.
I don't know if it's going to pick up well.
Oh, yeah, you can see it.
What do you want to go to your mom?
Oh, look at him traversing that.
So we get
wall. Look at him traversing that freaking
in his socks.
45 degrees.
In his socks.
Around a waterfall.
My dude, concrete jungle to the nature.
Shout out to Kyle Germany.
Shout out to
right
Kyle
there. Kyle Germany on the 4th episode, making a little guest presence in the video. Sheesh.
And so when we first go, it's lit. It's fine. We get over. Not even like a thing in the world. Like we're just like, oh, we get over. Look, we're so close to the waterfall, and I'm like dipping my head in it, and I'm just chilling, and I'm just like, dude, like you made it. You made this 2.5 mile hike. You're feeling this fresh water.
That's like always such a good feeling when you make it to like the summit or the destination that you're like. Yeah.
Or you just didn't quit. Like you just didn't quit.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still gonna have the return to where you to wherever you came from.
Yeah.
But I love like once you make it to the destination after the ascent or whatever, the first trip. That's the best. Then you get to like chill. You get to hang out at your spot.
Yeah.
Chill for a few hours, like recuperate. Drink some water, and then like eat some food, and then start thinking about when you're gonna go back and burn that other bridge.
And going down was quick, but I gotta explain a few things that happened though. So we were chilling, we're getting rowdy, like not like rowdy, like doing stupid stuff, but like I'm soaked in water. Kyle's like starting to get wet, and he's like, "Yo, these rocks are slippery." And I was like, "Oh yeah," and like like I start going back, and like I slip, my foot goes straight in. It's all wet now.
Okay. So
now I'm like, well, dang, like it's wet. It's wet. I can't go.
Your shoe is on?
Yeah.
Oh, so like
so basically the way that we came.
Are you wearing tennis shoes for this whole thing?
I'm wearing
hiking boots.
No, I'm wearing Nike Meta Sport 3s or whatever.
So tennis shoes.
Yeah. They're
athletic shoes.
Yeah. And your boy got a hella blister because they were brand new. Didn't break him in. So, like, my heel right now is just chunked. right off.
Oh, it's those new shoes you got?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So now whatever like that's invalid at this point. It's just a minor inconvenience. But me being wet was the major, like, oh no, because we're gonna have to go back all these dry rocks, and it's easy to slip because you're wet. And
Yeah. And then it turns to slime.
Yeah, and we were stupid, and it's just gonna whoop, and like you're gonna. So I go this other way, right? So I'm like, all right, forget this. Like I can't do that because I'm gonna slip, hit my head, and then I'm gonna drown down there because they're not gonna get to me in time. I go this other route, and I see this little like last like 4 pieces, like where I'm supposed to go. And at this point, like I'm fully like getting into the water, like to my waist, and just like slowly hucking it through. And like the rest of the rocks are wet, so like it'll be like I feel like the same texture, and just be able to slowly take my time.
Yeah.
And so I get to this like last little 4 piece before I would just be able to have a good little climb up. I get to like the second rock out of the 4-hit combo. And I go to step to get to that third rock, and your boy skidooped and opened up like I was just doing couch castings, and
Just splash.
wrecked my hip and like went into the water.
Oh.
I'm holding my phone. My phone's in the water, and I'm chilling there for a second. I'm like, oh no, my phone's in the water. But then I'm like, oh, water resistant, but. Like it was like, ugh.
So, is your phone good? Has it been acting up at all?
No, phone's perfectly fine.
That's sweet, dude, because my phone would get destroyed if I dunked it in water.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shout out to the Apple iPhone 8 Plus.
Dang. I didn't know they were like that.
Tim Cook holding it down for us still, but...
I don't know, it was like
the
that.
The Note 9 came out, and it looks dope. But
what? The 9?
The Note 9 came out.
Oh, the Note 9.
Yeah, and it looks dope. Side story, though. So I'm in, and I'm fully in there, and I'm just like I just, my hips hurting right now. I was like, we got to go down this mountain. Getting down, I'm still wet, and there's all this loose rock or all this like weird angled rock that we just walked up. Not necessarily did the climb across to the waterfall and everything like that.
Okay.
But like getting up to the point of where we were at the waterfall, there was all this interesting rock that we were walking up and semi-climbing on, like baby climbing, right?
Huh.
Just kind of like going slow before like, balancing out or whatever. We busted down that mountain 40 minutes, maybe tops.
And it took you 2.5 to get...
It took us like 2 to 2.5 to get up.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So about 3 hours.
Yeah, obviously the downhill's always easier, but...
Your boy was, even with the jacked hip, your boy was hitting it. Like I was leading the pack.
So how does your hip feel today?
We'll get to that. So we also got to go to the Gulch and the creek, quote unquote, the creek in Boulder. And let me tell you,
okay,
probably the dopest day I've had in a very long time.
So,
yeah.
So the creek. What about it?
The creek is an interesting spot. So it's like where families go, where people, if they want to, have a beer or do some other stuff.
It's just the creek that runs through Boulder, right?
Yeah.
I've been to part of it, I guess, to
Fair
a certain
enough.
Part of it.
Fair enough. So there's this one part where, obviously there's a lot of kayaking. If you haven't got to do any kayaking, you get to kayak in it. There's tubing. You can be brave and just go down on your butt through some of the rocks, but you might get a poke or two. Yeah.
Did you do that?
No. Your boy was just sitting on the side because like where we were chilling at, you have to walk across the creek, and it's all these rocks that are just perfectly like just getting you in the foot.
Yeah, I mean,
like hard, and it's the water's just rushing through, and you don't want to like and eat it.
I'm down with tubing. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't ride the creek on my ass. My ass isn't a balloon, but
yeah. And so then they had this other part where you could climb up these rocks and like hold onto a string and like swing out and like just like rope yourself into the creek. Cause
just like a little rope swing to jump in.
Yeah,
yeah.
They had this one spot that was maybe like 4 feet, but like if you dove in it, you like definitely scuff and skull. So like you don't want to dive. You just want to kind of like
cannonball, splash, try to like
try not to take it to the ground.
Yeah, for real.
But so we were just chilling, and just I was just sitting there, just like observing everybody being there, like the little ones being there. There was this dope husky that like went like near this like one little like area where people were chilling and eating food, and they had a bucket of chicken, and that husky just went in that bucket of chicken and like comes out and it's just like stuck on his eye tooth, and he's just gnawing at it. And his owner's like, "Oh snap!" Like,
I have a couple questions real quick. So this is a separate day, right?
It's a separate day. Yeah, we didn't do it all in one day.
So who are you with today? This is Kyle.
Yeah, this is Kyle, and then Kyle's buddy Tom. Shout out to Tom, Mystery Man, Mystery Tom. Oh, Mystery Tom will be maybe coming on hopefully one of these days. But he's a very interesting person.
Mystery Tom.
Mystery Tom, yeah, man. He's a good dude, man. Really, really good.
Everyone has like a nickname. Like whenever I hear about one of your buddies, there's always like it's always like a word and then a name, or a name and then a word. I'm just like,
I just describe my fans really good. Just leave me alone, gosh.
Everyone's got a nickname.
And so,
I'm just Zander. Like, what?
No, you're the Z-Man.
Sheesh.
So we get done with the creek. We before that we had this dope Mexican lunch. I had lamb taquitos. I would be so mad if you didn't hit that button.
I don't know. We're good. I just wanted to quadruple check.
I would literally just be like,
yeah.
But anywho, we had this. We went to this one restaurant, had some lamb taquitos, had some blackened fish, some chicken. It was pretty dope. And then after we get done with the creek and lunch and all that, we went to this spot, this lookout in Boulder. It's on the hill. To describe what the hill is, it's basically like where the frat houses are.
It's like the whole neighborhood.
It's pretty much the whole neighborhood. Besides the frat houses and the sorority houses, there's like people and families that like have houses out there.
It's just a grid of streets. A grid of streets that is like kind of on a hill.
Yeah. And it's really beautiful area. Just like beautiful landscape. Everybody has a beautiful yard.
Nice houses.
Yeah. Like Ferris Bueller day off houses.
Yeah.
And so
definitely lots of parties around there. Around like Halloween,
sure.
If you go there on Halloween, you walk around, it's gonna be wild. You're gonna see some stuff.
You need soundproof windows.
And Boulder is always rated like one of the top 5 party schools in the U.S. Like,
but it's also like probably one of the top places to live in the nation too.
It's a really unique place, you know.
Yeah. So so we go past the hill of like all the sororities and all the houses and all the fraternities and stuff. We get to this one lookout. It's called the Gulch, and like we're just like looking around, and then Tom, in his spare time, like we do jiu-jitsu, this dude does hiking, bouldering, like anything that's like outdoor nature sport, quote unquote. Camping, any of that stuff.
Does he hunt?
He fishes, I think he said. I know one of his boys that I met that one night, he fishes, and he does pretty well for himself.
You mean hunt?
He fishes.
Oh, he just fishes. Okay.
Yeah. And so so we get to this lookout, really dope, called the Gulch, and then he's like, yeah, man, like he's like, yeah, we can climb this. This is healthy to climb. And we're like, me and Kyle look at each other, we're like, what?
You're like, what do you mean healthy to climb?
And then all of a sudden, like, you know, like he's gone. He like disappears. He just starts scampering. He's walking on these rocks and like kind of like the edges of like what would be, I don't want to be a cliff. Sure.
Small cliff.
9,000 feet. Is that small?
No.
Well, not like it wasn't straight down.
9,000-foot cliff.
But it was a cliff drop of like 30 feet, maybe 20 to 30 feet. Like if you
is there a landing, or it's all curved under?
It slates down. Like you could walk it up, but your fall, it's gonna be
you're rolling.
You're like Tommy Boy, and yeah,
you're rolling.
Yeah, okay. Stay strong, roots. And
okay.
And we're gonna get to something really quick. So
I think I know what you're gonna get to.
So they start like. They're like, come on, Steph, and like, and he's like, come on, Kyle, and Kyle's like looking around. He's like, he's like, all right, it's just climbing. Like we just were doing some stuff the other day. And this is me thinking for Kyle. He will come on one day maybe and explain the story a little bit better than I do. But he just starts like looking around. He's getting comfortable with the scenery, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna bust out. I'm still sitting there like, yo, y'all crazy. Like this.
Good idea.
Hold up.
I know. I shouldn't be praising too much. Okay.
So then And then like I don't see him for a little bit, and then I'm like,
The first dude, Tom. You didn't see Tom for a while.
I didn't see Tom or Kyle, and then I mean I didn't see Tom because like Kyle was like slowly descending, and then I was like Tom, and he's like, I can still hear you, dog.
Okay.
And then like Kyle gets to a certain spot, and then he's like, Tom, I guess.
So you're yelling up. You're kind of.
I'm yelling down.
Oh, you're yelling down.
So yeah, Tom went down.
Okay.
This bizarre way going down.
Okay, I got you.
Right.
He's just trying to mountain goat on the side of the mountain.
Yes.
Much.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then Kyle starts going down in his direction, and then all of a sudden I'm like looking over, and then I see Tom looking up at me in this like crack breakdown look off the cliff, and he's easily like 2.5 stories down, like from where I'm standing.
Yeah, far.
And I'm like, dude, what? Like, where did you go to get down to that area? Like, that's far, man. Like in my head. Like I'm not like the square like saying this out loud, but like I would like joke around and be like, can you hear my voice? Like I was saying before. So Kyle gets down
to the same spot.
And then I see Kyle and I'm like, oh dang, like, but that still looks so sketchy. There's like a drop off, and then that doesn't like, I don't know.
And you're like, oh, I guess if they both made it, it's probably fine. There's probably a path.
Then Tom goes, like, so where he's looking, or I'm looking down at him, and Tom then disappears again. And then all of a sudden, it's like he's gone for 3.5 minutes, and then I see him, and he's right next to me. And I'm like, dude, how did you get up to, like, my left?
Okay.
And he's like, oh, there's, like, this easy way. Like, there's some stuff, like, that you climb and just some angles, but it's really easy to climb. It's, like, children's book. Like, I was like, okay, whatever, Tom. I just saw you disappear into, like, hell, and I have no idea where you went into the side of this mountain. And then you just made this look so easy, and then you're back up here. But then he goes back down the way that he came, and then we're back to the 25 feet. Like, I'm still looking at him.
Yeah, you're back on top. They're still down there now.
Yeah, and then Kyle comes up, and he was like, yo, this was interesting. Then, all of a sudden, Tom, from this 25 drop-off, he starts climbing this fucking thing. Excuse my language, but he, like, Stallone and Cliffhanger, like... Like
I've seen that.
Like chalking up, and like he didn't have any chalk, but he's going bare hand, and I'm like, dog, this is. I'm like, dude, this is intense, right? And he made it. He just gets up, 1, 2, 3, so easy, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And he's walking around the rocks and like these angles, like it's like if we're walking down Pearl Street in Boulder, like that's how he's walking around on this stuff.
Yeah.
And so Tom's killing it on the 1s and 2s on the mountains. He's like, Kyle, you can do this. And Kyle's like, I don't know, man. He's like, dude, I'm telling you, you just did that. You got down. You can do this. And I'm like slowly getting down, but like I still see the way that they went. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Like there's no way I'm going that way.
Okay.
And so I see them get up. Kyle goes up one angle from the 25-foot way, and he kills it. Like it took him a little bit, but he killed it, right? He goes up this one, the original route that Tom went, had a decent hard time doing it, but he did it, right? Tom is like doing this middle route regularly. He's just cleaning it every time. There's
climbing.
Yes, on these
ledges
of the mountain. Rocks, yeah. Then there's this one way that it's about 25-30 feet that he's like trying to hit, and there's just one angle, and he's like, oh, I can't do it, like I just, but it's right there. And so he does this like weird, like, I don't want to say like he hoisted himself or maybe swung, but he gets his hand up and then it slips. And I don't see Tom's head anymore. And then I hear, oh, and like, he's like, you okay? And like, and then I see Tom, I hear Tom, I think thud. And then I see him roll. And he lands on this dead tree, but like it was like a you know how we do like front rolls.
Yeah.
Think of like you roll just like on your side, and he just was like he side rolled it, I guess. Like he barrel rolled or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He just like log rolled.
Yeah, log rolled it, right? And then so like he log rolled onto the dead tree, and then like he like planted and got up, and he was like, whoa. And then Kyle was like, dude, did you see how your head missed that one rock? And then so I'm finally peeking over, and there was this like weird angled rock. Kyle was saying that it was like maybe like a half foot or less that he like his head skimmed by.
Damn.
Like he would have clean hit this thing and then kept rolling.
That would be terrible.
And so I'm like, y'all want me to do that? Like, I'm like, I'm bugging. And then so the way that they came up to my left, like, I start peeking around over there. And then I'm like, all right, you know what? I think I can do this. This way looks pretty easy. This looks climbable. And so I start getting that. Then I'm starting getting like, all right, we can do this. Okay, you're a mountain man. You got this. You got, like, let's do this, right?
This is like 2 days after you fell, right?
This is 2 days after I slipped at Fish Creek Falls. And so I'm like, I could do this. I could do this. I got this. Ain't no one gonna tell me. Ain't no one gonna tell me. And so I hit it, and it was good. It went smooth. And I get down to where they're at, and then I get down to a little bit further, and we start coming back up, and then Tom's like, oh crap, look at my knee. Oh crap, look at my hand. And I was like, what? And I look up, because like he took a different route coming up to this one way that I was coming up, but we eventually went to the same route. And he has half of his hand skin falling off. So everybody, like, if you can see my hand, this like mid part right here, and all of it peeled down like a fruit roll up.
Oh.
And then his knee, like in the middle of his knee, had like a good maybe like $50 to $50 size, like flesh gone and just bleeding.
Damn.
And he's like, oh wow. And Tom's a bartender in his spare time, ladies. So he's filling up those drinks in Boulder.
Does he live in Boulder?
Yeah, he lives in Boulder. He lives an interesting life in Boulder.
And Kyle knew him already?
Yeah, they used to work in the city together back in the day.
So this dude's from New York?
No, he was actually from Connecticut, and I hope, like I said, hopefully he can come on. I don't want to like tell this kid's life story, but he was from Connecticut.
He met Kyle in New York.
Yes, and then so they all graduated school or did their things with school, and Kyle and him worked together at this one job in the city, but then like after they stopped working at that job, one went one way, one went the other. Souls were to be just attached social media wise, and then Kyle's posting, video and pictures of us being in Colorado, and he's like, yo, you're in Colorado? How long are you in here for? And he's like, I'm leaving on Wednesday.
Okay.
He's like, how far are you from Boulder? I was like, bruh, we ain't that far away from Boulder. We coming. We'll get through there tomorrow.
Yeah, we're only like 35 minutes from, or
40 minutes, maybe 45
minutes.
Max, like if you want to drive.
I guess from here.
Yeah, whatever. And so it was dope. So Tom is just leaking blood on this like little pretty intense cliff area that we were just on. And then we get finally this route, and he's like, dude, I gotta get home and wash this. And he's like, just another day at the office. And I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Now what I will tell you is I was getting that nature high, I was getting that climbing high. I wasn't doing like the stuff that they were doing, but I could see myself getting to that.
But you didn't fall when you were climbing it.
I didn't fall when we were in Boulder, no.
Okay.
Nothing sketch went down in Boulder. It just looked sketchy on a certain path that they went. And Tom did some sketchy stuff, but he was nailing a lot of the sketchy stuff too. Yeah. And like it was funny, we get back to his place, we're all just chilling and eating and having like the recovery for the day or whatever. And his buddy, who's his roommate, he's like a professional like rock climbing, mountain climber, chain up, and like I'm gonna free climb, I'm gonna free climb up, put some stuff in, put a rope through, sling it down to you, and we're going up 100 feet. I'm gonna carry you up 100 feet up this stuff. Yeah, he does some stuff. And so
these are some real climbers.
Yeah, these guys are legit, and they've had some stories.
I bet they have some sweet backpacking trips, cause like.
Oh yeah, their pictures are riddled on their Instagram of just, and we'll share it on another day, because again, like I don't want to put Tom's business out there like that yet, but it was dope. It was a really good vacation, chilling. Kyle like introducing, making me maybe be a little bit more open-minded about food I'm intaking. I know I was joking about with you, like, let's do the vegetarian challenge together. You're like, nah, dog. And I'm like, yeah, no, I want some steak tonight.
I shot that shit down immediately because I just have priorities. Like, I've already spent so much money on hunting tags, hunting equipment, and
Understandable. But, like, just...
different time of year. Maybe in 6 months I'll be down.
Just, getting to experience some of the food and culture that's here in Colorado besides just your burger, your chicken. Like, we went to some dope like Mexican places that did, you know, burritos that are certain styles and certain wavelengths. I will tell you, I was still eating meat, and like I was just trying to like not be mean to Kyle or whatnot. But there was this one spot when we went in Steamboat Smokehouse.
Sheesh.
Yo, that barbecue though. When I say that barbecue though,
That barbecue.
it was really good, really really good. Probably the best barbecue I've had in my life.
Okay, that's awesome. Honestly, when I was camping in Winter Park with Jake, the last time we went to this one, I don't remember what it's called. It's some barbecue place. It's like a smoke shop, and it was fire. Oh man, I got.
Was it Wayne's Smoke Shack? And
no,
in Superior?
No, it's in like.
That's the one that Professor and like Coach Tim and like all the other professor, you know, like Professor.
Yeah, they
Elliott.
do go up there to Wayne's Smoke Shack. You're right. No,
I want to go there. Shout out to Wayne's Smoke Shack.
This is
get
not
some
that.
free brisket.
This is in Winter Park. I mean, or Frisco area.
Yeah. They had some.
Not Frisco. What is that? Fraser, Colorado.
I was in Fraser, Colorado once in my life.
Oh, okay. Fraser's right next to Winter Park. That's what I was.
I was there in the winter with front wheel drive Hyundai in a snowstorm.
Ooh, the red one you had? That red Hyundai?
The silver one.
Oh.
And I had to drive guys from DIA to here, or to there, I should say, to Fraser.
Oh yeah, Uber.
Ooh, the good times. But anywho.
All right, so we're past our stories of our past weeks. That
kind of catches up for us being gone and not like shooting more videos. I would say not that like, you know, we're like the Beatles or anything, but
no,
we've been on a consistent schedule, so we're gonna try to get back on that consistent schedule. But that vacation was dope. I had a great time. I'm glad that you had a great time.
So did you take some time off to spend these days with Kyle? And...
Yeah. I haven't seen the dude in a decade.
No.
Like,
I mean, that's awesome.
And like I don't get
I'm glad you guys did that. I'm glad you got to enjoy a little break of your own.
And like, you know, I don't get to go to New York a lot, and so he's my home coming to me. That home, like, you know, like my mom and my dad come. It's like home coming to me in Colorado. You know what I mean? Because this is where my life's at. You know, and
while he was here, your family was in Utah still.
No, they actually came back, and then
did Kyle meet your family?
Kyle met Abby, which was dope.
Yes,
and
nice.
and Kyle was like, "Yo, she's like a cuter, dope little version of you." I was like, "Oh, thanks, bud."
Yeah. He's
awesome. Like, "I don't want to say cute because like it's weird because you're." I'm like, "Dude, it's chill.
No,
like
it's chill.
It's all right. It's fine." So, but yeah, man, it was a great vacation, great like unplug.
That's awesome.
While he was here, you know, like one of the things I want to talk to you about is acquired taste for food, and one of the things that he got me into was smoked oysters. I know it sounds gross. Everybody that is, if you're still watching at this point, smoke oysters. I know it sounds gross, but it's actually really, really good.
Seafood's just awesome in general. Clams, oysters, and mollusks, and all of that stuff.
Can I just tell you, he had some Frank's Red Hot and these smoked oysters from Sprouts. We put it on a Ritz cracker. Slam that baby up. I would probably because I'm dumb, I'd probably put cheese on it to ruin the experience, but I just wanted to see what it would taste like. Because like when you're biting into this oyster, it's like you're tasting like seafood, but like the sea and a cracker and with some hot sauce on it.
I know.
And I'd want to just mix some cheese in there to just see what that flavor would be like. Because again,
dude, I bet that'd be good.
Just get some Colby Jack. Some
Mix
Gouda.
Mix it up.
Just getting into our Chef Boyardee aspect. Do you have any like acquired tastes? Like I also like oxtails. I know a lot of people are like they don't like that cut of like meat.
I mean, I like a lot of food. I like a ton of food. My favorite kind of food is probably Mexican food, but also I said I like Mediterranean food a ton. I said that on the episode with Grant pre-episodes.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I love Arabic food and Mexican.
You got to pee over there, dog? You good?
No, I'm just.
Everybody at home
tapping my feet.
My man looks like Fred Astaire over.
I'm one of those pacers. I like always pace around my kitchen when I'm like just standing around. I'm just like I'm always pacing, tapping my feet. In class.
I feel like you're comfortable though, which is dope.
Yeah, I'm like literally not thinking about it. It just like goes into autopilot. It just happens. It's good because it literally burns more calories like throughout your day. It takes
I'm more of a Jabba the Hutt chiller.
I don't even remember it. Oh, foods. I mean, I would say like sushi's an acquired taste. I like sushi. You
There's
know,
some sushi. That's
I mean, I like
interesting.
pho. I like a lot of different Asian foods.
Can I tell you how much pho me and Grant ate on Friday?
Oh yeah, I missed out on that. I went home.
So I'm gonna tell you, it's more than I feel comfortable talking about, but I'm gonna still
hear
talk about it.
Let's go.
So I think he got.
It was just you and Grant?
Yeah.
Okay.
So me and
the
Grant.
boys.
Going to Pho 95 in South Glen.
Word. Shout out to Pho 95.
Yeah,
we really appreciate you guys. I'm sure you'll never see this.
Or care about us.
No,
they do. They always greet us.
Like
and
us.
They try to give us good portions. And
yeah,
stuff
they recognize us too. They know us. We're regulars.
Yeah.
Regular.
It was so good that when I went on Friday, I went today too. But let's get back to Friday. Let's get back to Friday.
God.
So Friday, I get a small brisket and rare steak. Ooh-wee. And then I get some short ribs. I get some crab ragoons, and I get the Vietnamese egg rolls. And Grant's like, "What?" He's like, "Dude," he's like, he's like, "I'll put in on this." I was like, "You'll get me another time, like if when we go out, like I won't eat. I'll just be like, hey, can I bum a meal off you, kind of a thing."
Okay.
And so he's like, "All right, cool, whatever." And I'm holding you to that, Grant, even though that conversation never happened. And so, anyway, we're eating, we're chowing down. And then he got, I think he got he got the
combo plate?
The combo bowl.
Oh, bowl?
With the broth, yeah. And we just went to town on all this food. Like, it was probably gone in a matter of 40 minutes, if that, or less. Like, we just were like, and it was gone. And we were talking about just, class and work and his fascination with Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
And what throws are better than other throws to acquire Pokemon, which...
I thought you were talking about jiu-jitsu throws or judo.
No, he was talking about the throws with Pokemon. Very little jiu-jitsu, more Pokemon than anything. Yeah, but it was a dope...
He's like a Pokemon enthusiast. He doesn't care that much about whatever. It's everyone's... Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all Gucci. No, but like the bowl or the pho that you get, the rare steak and brisket, that's my shit. I always order that. I always get like a meat. I think it's a number 7. I think it's a P7 or something.
Yeah. You know, it's another acquired taste that I had to get 2 of today because when I went back today, you know what else I got?
Boba?
Got that mocha boba.
Oh, mocha. I like coffee and mocha boba.
Got that mocha boba.
Have you had Vietnamese coffee though from those pho restaurants? It's literally like this like weird little drip thing. I think you've seen me get it before. I'm sure you've seen me get it before.
I've never seen you drink coffee there ever. I'm not lying to you.
Okay, it's like...
But it doesn't taste good?
It's super good, bro. It's crazy. They'll give you a cup of ice. It'll just be like a glass with ice. And then they'll give you this glass where it has like this metal coffee sifter. It literally drips into your cup. It's like they have this really thick cream. It's like whatever Vietnamese like super whipped cream. It's like really thick. I call it bull semen, but it's like it's literally like that kind of like thick, like really
I've never
thick
had
cream.
that,
It's so sweet.
It's I don't think that
I'm not referring. Yeah. But
right.
And then it's like this thing, and it drips into it. You can like push it down and tamp the coffee, push the oil through a little bit, and like kind of like mess with it a little bit, and it's like a little drip. Yeah, it is like a little French press kind of. Yeah. And then like right onto the cream, you stir it up in the cream. It's like literally tastes like chocolate. It's like a dessert coffee.
The waterfalls.
Yeah, seriously, we got some loud water pipes moving around us. But it literally tastes like a dessert coffee drink, and then you pour over the ice. It's so good. It's like really thick and chocolatey tasting. Yeah, it's so good. Oh man.
Do you have like do you ever eat like escargot? Like I love escargot. People say acquired taste. You know what I mean? Like you ever have escargot?
What is escargot?
Sea snails and like maybe like a Germany like cooking style aspect, or like butter with like garlic.
I would say I haven't eaten much of it. I'm sure I would like it.
Dude,
I've never.
You would
there's
love escargot.
Not
acquired
like
taste for
cultured
sure,
foods that I don't like. It's rare that I eat food that I don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I've literally had like cow brain, and I've eaten cow brain. I've eaten like lamb testes, sheep nuts, and shit like that. And when I was in the Middle East in Jordan, we ate at like a really interesting restaurant. where they kind of like embrace like
the whole
different...
entire animal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope though. I guess.
I mean, and the brain was like really interesting. It was really like fatty and flubbery. Like it was kind of what you would think it was, like kind of mushy and like not that fire. Very questionable.
What if it was fried?
I really felt odd. It was fried. It was
really?
fried. The outside was crispy, but it wasn't like super fried to like like charcoal, you know.
What about like calamari though? Would you eat like it was a chewy?
I
like
love
caramel?
calamari. No, it wasn't like calamari's more rubbery and firm. This is like more squishy and like mushy on the inside. Kind of questionable. Kind of weird to think that you're eating brains and it like is as exactly as mushy as you would think.
Jeez, you're a cow zombie.
Yeah, man, I have mad cow disease now.
Do you think?
No,
so?
no, I'm joking. I would be like dead. Mad cow disease is some real stuff. Your brain turns to like slop if you have mad cow disease.
Yeah, no. My buddy just went. Was talking to me because I met with Lee and I wanted to have him come on this and he wants to talk to you about hunting. Like I'm just gonna be looking at you guys like. Oh wait,
you're saying cool. Lee from Jiu-Jitsu?
No, Lee. One of my workmates, Lee.
Okay.
He was giving us an opportunity to wants to come on, I guess would be the way of saying it. And so
we'd love to have him on.
Yeah. He wants to come on and shoot the poo, but I think like one of the dope things that are, is crazy was that he just got a tag done, and he completed on the tag. And
when it's not even hunting season.
Like
yet.
last year when.
Last year he filled the tag.
And he ate some back straps, and then like they were getting the rest of the meat down to the butcher or to get like checked out, and they were like, "Hey, your animal got what is it? The disease? It's basically like mad cow disease."
Oh, is it called trichinosis?
It was like
It went bad. The meat itself went bad. They didn't.
It was already bad to begin with before they.
The animal had a disease.
Yeah, the animal had a disease. So he was like,
that's something I really need to look into because I'm not going to take my meat to a processor. I'm going to butcher it myself.
You have to really.
So I need to know what to look for.
Yeah.
In terms of that, so I don't end up butchering it and getting myself some steaks and eating
and then
it.
You just.
And then I'm just. No, but like, so he ate some back straps of this diseased meat. How did that go?
He said that due to the way that they cooked it and everything like that, that even though that it still had some blood in it, they like it was probably medium rare, medium well.
Okay.
Maybe medium rare. He would tell you better than I would.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. But he said that everything's good and like the dude that he ate it with, like he's not sick, nothing wonky. He's like maybe in 10 years.
Yeah. Man, that's interesting. That's something to think about. I've never really thought about that because now that you say that, there's like some like.
Probably story.
They get ticks and stuff. There's like almost like deer Lyme disease that happen. There's like a few different mutations and like diseases that come from bugs. Yeah. And I need to look into that and make sure I don't eat some shit I shouldn't.
Yeah. So with one of the things that I like was just he's talking about coming on and doing the hunting thing with you, and I just was like, dude, that'd be so dope. There's so much that he builds guns, which is crazy. Like he gets like these kits and he puts these guns together and they just look a bomb, like Call of Duty guns. It's ridiculous. But I wanted to joke about like some current events, political aspect, and just want to get your opinion on the old Space Force. Dun, 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 dun. They're saying by 2020 we're going to have a sixth branch of military that will be again called the Space Force. Mike Pence, Vice President, probably the serious one out of the two of him and Trump. Like Trump is the voice and focal point and everything like that.
I'm like.
So Mike Pence and Trump, like what's going on is like they're getting ready to make this sixth branch, and there's a few things that I have come to mind. It's like first thing that I have come to mind is like who's building the equipment? Like does Elon Musk just get the contract right off the bat? That's the first thing.
So I mean I would say that when we talk about Space Force,
they're talking about having
I know what I mean. It's like a military that we can send fleets into space to intercept some,
nukes,
whatever, intercept, things that are traveling through the sky or things that are visiting or something along those lines.
And also to have like our satellite maintenance, I feel like, as well as
the thing
like
is
weapons on the satellites.
It's not like we don't it's not like the Air Force right now controls the satellite. Like, we have a lot of these things. It's just gonna be a switch of the role, like, of who's the captain of taking care of it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's those tasks that the Space Force are going to do are already in place and being taken care of by the Air Force.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say anything. Never mind.
Just say it.
No, I shouldn't say it because, like, I don't want to say something I don't know if someone else is not okay with me saying about their profession in the military.
Gotcha.
And it's someone that you and me know.
Oh, okay, whatever. Yep, sorry.
So
my thing is like, is it just another thing that they just get military funding for, right? Is it just so, like there's one common denominator that each side of the aisle works on together, which is having a unified and the strongest and most intelligent military. Like, both sides of Democrats and
everyone
Republicans
wants the best military that we can have.
Yes, that's
to be
like,
the safest possible.
Yeah,
the strongest power we can be.
Yes, like for protection.
Yeah,
and maybe even for assault.
For confidence in our own safety.
Yeah,
protection, I would say.
So, what takes another hit? Do we like let healthcare go? Do we, like, is more money going to be just drained out of the schools? Like, my thing is like, if there's a way to figure it out, do we just stop international funding? Do we just say to everybody, like, hey, we do like our resources. God bless you. We do. Sorry. Allah blesses you.
Yeah, he does.
And so my thing is like, do we stop like international like funding? Is that selfish?
International funding.
Like, we give countries multiple millions of dollars.
Oh.
And I don't know if it's necessarily on a thing for like aspects of resources and goods.
You
or
mean
what?
due to like paying debt to China or something like
Not
that?
Not necessarily the debt to
or
China
you're
thing. Like,
that
we have a lot of money that flows in and out of our country, and the money that is flowing in and out of our country, some portions of it goes to aid to foreign countries.
Yeah.
Do we cut the aid to foreign countries so that we can bolster our education and bolster our military?
I'd say that it's not the worst idea, but it wasn't my idea. I mean, like, I don't know, like.
And then it's like, well, then, like, you voted for Trump.
I'm sure there's plenty of, if I was able to actually look at the budget, the government's budget, I'm sure that I could decide what I would want to cross out and allocate funds differently. You know what I mean? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to say, let's cut all our money to foreign countries. That's probably not.
I mean, there's some allies that you want to give money to and make sure that they're being taken care of and stuff like that.
But I mean, I would like to see what the budget really looks like before I'm going to make any decisions on how to change it. I don't even know what it looks like,
And so that's my, like, next thing is like, where's the fear in Washington where they just can't come up with, like, 50 chalkboards, like, on, like, the Oval or, like, out, like, on the front lawn of the White House and be like, okay, guys, A plus B equals C. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. And,
like, is it really as calculated as we would hope, or, like, are they just freeballing it out there, just kind of, like, making shit up, trying to, like, fight for stuff as the next day comes,
Yeah, like, another thing that I get concerned about with, like, the money and, like, the spending is like, and I'm fine with the military protection and putting money into the military, but I don't like having the base military upkeep in foreign countries and, like, the embassies. Like, I'd rather us stay in the U.S., protect the waters, right? Have, like, people that are going to be our ambassadors for these countries, right? Like, okay, that's fine. Like, you fly out of America to the country, like, if you want to meet, or you meet at a allied, like, agreed upon country, like a meeting place, right? You would either host or we would host. and we just fly to community. Like, you don't have to have
that
like,
already happens. I mean, there's what's called the UN, the United Nations, that meets in New York and like has meetings, and like there's different high up people that represent different countries.
But that's
I
not
mean,
what
like,
I'm talking. I'm talking about like having the ambassadors and all these people that are diplomats or anything. Like, you know, you always hear like these stories of like the terrorists stormed an embassy and took 30 American workers of the embassy hostage and killing them by the hour.
I would say there
like
there's
there's people that are in the Middle East. There's people in these other countries that don't want us there, and so why are we going to have a base and keep the military upkeep and potentially have a situation that's happening when we can save the funding, get that military soldier trained better in either combatives or the aspects of the new technology that we want to bring out for our defense, or you know, Space Force or this force or the Jedi Force.
I mean,
like,
I see both sides. Like when it comes to embassies, having an embassy in a country or not, it's like
I'd rather not.
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate. I want to say there's another side. It's like, if we didn't have any embassies in any other countries, if we have no involvement in any other countries, like, then we're not being a global, like, we have no power then. You have to, like, keep check on your neighbors, like, understand, at least.
Okay, so here's my question: why doesn't England or France or Italy or Russia or somebody do that then? Why do we have to do it?
You think that there's no other offices of foreign relations between China and England that the U.S. has? I'm sure that there's offices in China.
Cool, then let them have them and let them do it.
Okay, I'm just saying,
like,
we can't ignore that there's other countries out there. We have to, like,
we're not
acknowledge and research and be aware of every single, our relationship with each country there has to be someone that's making this relationship.
Yeah.
And there has to be. I got you. Like, we shouldn't be invading everywhere. We shouldn't, like, put our I'm just, there's two sides to it. I'm saying that we have to have relations with someone. We have to have relations with people.
We can still have relations, but we can do relations from home.
I got you. I mean, yeah, with technology, we can do some conference calls and stuff. I mean, yeah.
Exactly.
I got you.
Exactly. You know, and that's, I mean, I know it sounds bizarre, maybe like, probably like the worst politics, you know, probably like people that if they do have like a sense of like what we're talking about, they're like, these dumb cloons. They don't even know what they're doing, these clowns. What are they going to say? But on a serious note, why is that not a thing? I'm not trying to be an isolationist, but it's like, I need that money to get my kids, you know, out of like rank 56 for math and English and like in top 10. I'd rather have that money there. I'd rather have that money going towards medical advancement or medical sharing to the U.S. citizen. I'd rather have that to bolster the military more. I'd rather have it, you know, the conservative side is that our borders are at risk at all times. Okay, so then you would have even still some more money to handle that installment if you really wanted to, right?
So let me ask you about that. What would you say? Do you think that we should spend money on building more walls?
So here's the thing that's going to happen, right? The walls are not going to do anything, right? Because there's a statistic that's out that says a lot of the people that invade the country, quote unquote, or they're here illegally, are by expired visas that are through either driving or flying or some sort of program that they get. And now you're talking about reforming a whole entire program of visa work, which at that point, then you have some really weird stuff going on.
It's going to be a waste of money.
Well, not that it's a waste of money, but you have like this weird-esque Gestapo register that you have to register with, maybe potentially even weekly. Like, if you really want it to work that way, right? It's like, hi, come to America. You need to report each Friday by 4 o'clock at, you know, whatever office. If you... And like the time that you come in, you have a weekly, you know, date. Like if you got here on, you know, we're in August, right? So September 1st, like you walk in and it's like, okay, well, on September 15th, your day is here, and like, you know, only X amount of people that get here on September 1st have to check in on September 15th, kind of a thing. There has to be some sort of registry, like system that's so like, I wouldn't say necessarily violating a visitor's rights, but it's really hard to make a person come, you know, like human free will is an issue, right? So the aspect of the illegal alien is always going to happen. An American, I'm sure there's as many, like, it's always funny, like you always see like a statistic that's always like pointed towards one race or one thing, right? Mm-hmm. I would be really shocked to see what is the statistic rate for Americans with expired visas in other countries.
I see. Our illegal immigration rates to other places.
And
I mean, with like the borders, like I think we need to have secure borders, but I think in the end, like building a wall, spending a lot of money to build a bigger wall or a more secure wall with more security and more guards and whatnot. I think people
does nothing.
Yeah, like people are still gonna make their way into the country. That's just one wall that you build. People are gonna find a way around that wall.
Yeah,
like they're people. They're human beings. They're gonna be smarter than, oh, you built a wall, now I can't come over there.
Yeah. Like, I liked your really bad Italian accent.
Yeah, I don't know what I was trying to be. I don't know what I was trying to be there, but
I know that we're talking. No, man. So like I said, man, like I know we're talking about the Space Force. We kind of ventured on a lot of stuff about like being like a weird isolationist. Rand Paul. I want to be Rand Paul. I don't care about anybody. No, but I mean that's what I'm thinking about. You know, Space Force. Cool, that's great. You know, where's that money coming from?
Yeah.
You know, why are we not pulling more money, revenue in to take care of home and build infrastructure?
Yeah.
You know, I want the infrastructure system built up more, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. It's hard to comment because I'm sure it's a lot harder to actually truly run a country and than it seems. You know, it's hard for me to say.
I'm not like trying to walk in for like 2026 or 2024 presidency here. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's hard for me. Like everyone says we need to put more money towards education. Like I agree with that. There's a lot of other there's a ton of other stuff that has to be checked off the list. There's like education's not the only thing that we need to spend our money on. You know what I mean? Like everyone says that.
I get that.
I'm sure it's a lot harder to actually run a country and get all these other boxes checked.
I would do like 45-50% military protection and then like 30% education.
That's only 2 boxes and that's 70% of the money. Even there's a lot of other boxes that need to be checked to run a country.
40,
you see what I'm saying?
40, 20, 20.
There's a lot of categories that need...
And then, like, everything else split up into tens and fives and ones.
Yeah.
Look at your face. You're like, it's not that simple, Stefan.
I think it's not. I think we can't just, like, put half of our money to the military. Like, there's a lot.
How much do you think goes right now?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. I wish I was more educated on politics and economic budgets and stuff.
Yeah. We'll get there one day. For you.
And for ourselves.
For you. And
for my own learning and, you know, participation in the civilization.
You know what also I wanted to talk about since I haven't seen you in forever?
What?
Sports.
All right.
Football's back, and I know you don't even watch, but you know what that...
Broncos lost.
Broncos lost. Big. Besides the but it's just preseason football, which I think is the best football besides playoff football. Regular season's really good, and that obviously shapes what happens, you know, to who's going to win the whole thing. But preseason football, what I like is it's like all these guys just trying to get on the team. Like, they're like, and I know it sounds very barbaric, but they're doing the most intense playing that you're going to see so that they can make that roster.
They're trying to stand out.
And there's just so many good, like, just, like, check hits and just cats just getting romped.
Yeah.
And people are like, you know, football's a savagery sport, and, like, look what it does to people's brains. And I totally get that, and I know what they signed up for, but I also know it's brutal, and I get it. But there's just a lot of amazing talent, I feel like, in preseason and postseason football. It's just so awesome.
I got you. I can see how
football,
it's ramped
catch
up.
The fever.
I can see how it's ramped up for those athletes that are not the first stringers that are like trying to make a statement in preseason, and then also postseason, the ones that are first stringers, that's the end of the season, time to go balls to the wall and win, you know?
Yeah, just pulling out amazing plays.
And that's when it's probably really sick, because it's the first stringers that are going balls to the wall, you know, not which obviously the talent's still really good in preseason, but you know, the monsters come out.
I'm going to tell you, man, it's going to be an interesting few weeks. The Broncos, they got to go to the drawing board. There's a lot of teams that came out that got to go to the drawing board. One of the things that I like about that the NFL does in accordance with, like, in conjunction, I would say, with HBO is Hard Knocks, where they go into training camp with a specific team each year, and they went into the Cleveland Browns, who's been obviously notoriously known to lose. But they've gotten a lot of draft picks in the last 3 or 4 years.
They've been building up a squad.
Yeah, they've trusted the process, as the 76ers say. You know, just drafting rookies and getting young, high-class talent. And they've formed a defense that's looked like that's pretty strong. And now they formed an offense with draft picks. And they look good. Okay. I'm going to be very intrigued to see them go against like a powerhouse in the AFC or NFC and see how they fare out to win or lose games and what it's going to be like. Because with this docuseries, this like live weekly docuseries, they look good.
I mean, you should talk to one of my buddies, my friend Luke. Maybe you've heard me talk about him. Maybe you've met him. Yeah. He's like a huge Browns fan. He loves the Browns every year, even though they're always going like
that's a true fan.
Winning one game and then just like losing the rest or winning no games.
I think they've won one game in 24 games.
He's always like, bro, this year they're about to be worse to first, bro. And he like is he's super serious about it this year. Yeah,
there has to be some like cataclysmic things that happen that like will not allow them to at least make some noise this year in the football scene, which will be interesting.
Yeah.
So we got football back, man. Tiger today. Oof. We're talking back-to-back majors now, finishing in the top 5. This time finishing second in the PGA Championship, just too short to push a playoff.
Yeah, so a major happened today, right?
Yes, it was the 4th round of the PGA Championship, and Tiger blasted through to minus 14, and he just some stuff I think might have went wrong on the day. Didn't get to fully watch. There was some good highlights and some good shots that he was just doing. Obviously some bad shots, but he got a really strong 4th round. I think Tiger's back.
Yeah.
Or he's changed his game.
So what did he place?
2nd.
Okay.
Which
attaboy Tiger. I know it's not the one he's looking for, but
he was like I think tied for 5th or 6th for the British Open. Now he was 2nd for this one.
It's a great Tiger's story is a great story because it's all mental. Like it's never been a question of if Tiger was.
There's a lot of physical too, and then he had.
He had an injury. He had
a few things. He had mental, he had physical, and he had a social collapse.
I think it's more the social and the mental though that are what define his story. To me, I think he had an injury and he had some swing changes. He has like had some changes of swing coaches and stuff, but I think it's never been like a question of whether he was physically capable of performing amazingly, because we've seen him perform amazingly before. I think his breakdowns in his career were due to social and mental issues, and I think it's really awesome that he's able to overcome them and come back at an older age and be dominant against these young monsters like Rory and Jordan Spieth and
Molinari's really
Molinari's he's on the way.
Age. There's
Brooks.
Yep. Who's the other kid? Kisner.
Oh yeah, Kisner. Yeah,
he's good too.
Yeah. There's
some young hitters out there.
For sure.
Phil not looking good. Poor Mickelson.
I'm proud of Tiger.
He's on the Ernie L's way out right now. He might get one more.
Don't talk about Ernie like that.
Ernie was doing good, and then he just started doing really dropped bad. Off.
Yeah,
like really bad.
That's how it goes for some people, man.
Yeah, and that's fine.
But I'm glad that Tiger has came back. He's come back up.
Yeah,
that's a long way. That's a tough road back to the top.
Yeah,
and he was able to kind of. He's there.
Yeah, and so it was a really good. I was pulling for him to win. We'll see what the next major is. I don't even know what it is off the top of my head, but hopefully.
Isn't it British?
No, we just had the British, and then they just did the PGA. So
it could be Masters or U.S. Open. It's either Masters or U.S. Open. So.
I think it's the U.S.
Okay.
Open.
Masters is Augusta National, and the U.S. Open. I think the Masters is at Augusta every year, right?
Let me see here. What's the next major?
Masters.
No idea. Couldn't look it up.
Okay.
Doing bad gigglings. Who cares? So we'll see what he places in this next one, because he's got one coming up, and I'm curious to see how he does. before the season ends.
Yeah.
Also, riveting this past weekend, we're getting close to the Rockies, getting to Rocktober, baby. Rockies beating the Dodgers, now only a half game out of the NL West to be getting into the playoffs. It's going to be interesting for the Rockies. I know you're not a big baseball guy, but I guarantee you'll see, if they get into the playoffs, you're going to see a lot more people downtown. You're going to see a lot of like Snapchats or social media stuff.
Some of my buddies go to Rockies games and stuff. I'll hear about it.
Yeah, there's going to be some stuff going on downtown with Rockies making the playoffs. They're doing pretty good. They're working their butts off.
Nice.
They're
good for the city.
They're giving people strokes like every game. They're always like winning the bottom of the ninth or something, like some bizarre way, and they still win. And it's just there's some good baseball going on in Colorado right now. I'm very intrigued by it.
I can't say that I'm like a diehard fan, but it's good for the city. It's just like I want my friends to succeed. I want my cities to succeed. Yeah. I want everyone to be on the best path around me. So
if you had tickets, would you go?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's Coors Stadium. Like I'm going to be on that banquet.
You're getting some of them silver bullets.
I've watched Rockies games before. I enjoy it. It's fun to sit there and just like sip some brews and just like chill. It's just like you actually get to relax and not think about much. Enjoy people's like
these guys
sport.
Putting on
they're
pretty good.
Their sport,
game.
their passion, just to entertain me. It's fun. It's fun. I go to Rockies games. I'm down.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with the old Rocks. Broncos, like I said in the beginning, struggling. Nuggets getting ready. Avalanche getting ready.
Forget the Nuggets.
Avalanche and Nuggets, you'll see some noise this year too.
I like the Avalanche. I mean, I like
you're
hockey.
A hockey bro? Oh,
I mean, I'm not like I've never played hockey. No, I mean, I just like Avs games. I've been to like 3 Avs games. That's probably my favorite sporting event I've ever been to. Really? I mean, other than like MMA fights. Because that's something I care about, or jiu-jitsu and stuff. Pro jiu-jitsu matches. But, I mean...
I'm going to tell you, the Avs games now, there's like a different buzz in the stadium sometimes.
You're saying good or bad?
There's good times, and then there's bad times. The bad times is when there's a certain major city team that comes in out of town because there's so many transplants. Like when the Rangers come to town, it's like if we're in Madison Square Garden. It's really heated. It's like 60-40 Rangers fans versus Avs. And I hate the Rangers to begin with. Sorry to all my New York friends. I hate the Rangers to begin with because I grew up on Long Island. I'm an Islanders fan. Like my first love is the Islanders, but the Avs have stole my heart.
Dude, I like the Avs a lot.
I've been cheating on the Islanders with the Avalanche for sure.
Oh man, I know a lot of people that like the Rangers. Like when I play Chell, I use the Rangers.
Yeah, dude, bunch of cake eaters. I hate the Rangers so much.
Oh man, that's funny.
So salty towards the Rangers. But yeah, the Avs have that. Like Chicago Blackhawks come to town, 60-40 Blackhawks sometimes.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've been to a Blackhawks game.
Minnesota Wild. Okay. Avs 60-40, maybe 50-50, 45-45, and just 10 that are just like, I'm here.
Yeah, but when you're in other places, it's like
it's all one team.
Your team.
Yeah. Okay. So that's like Colorado's like right now suffering from like the transplant, like for the home team advantage. It's tough right now.
I mean,
like all Colorado teams are like away games.
Just like kind of my philosophy on immigration. I think we're all immigrants. Everyone other than Native American is an immigrant here. So, I mean, like, I guess I'm all for like sharing the love, sharing the land, but I also don't love transplants coming to Colorado all the time. I mean, I don't know. I'm all for it. I guess we gotta share the land, share the love.
Yeah, and then finally in sports.
Dun dun dun! One that I want to talk about,
dude.
Well,
it's time.
Yeah,
sold out of the T-Mobile Arena.
Oh,
actually, no, they were not sold out of the Staples Center.
Wait, are you talking about fights that happened?
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
Okay. I thought
we're gonna talk about UFC 227. We're gonna talk about what's coming up.
I thought we were about to gun announce some stuff.
We're gonna
talk about some
not
stuff.
Announce. I mean, it's already been announced.
It's been announced.
We're gonna review, but I want to do I want to do a double review. Double time kicking that, man. I want to do a double review on what's going on in the UFC. 227 went down. Henry Cejudo.
The boy.
I'm going to tell you my heart hurt a little bit that night. I felt like DJ, I felt like maybe, I don't want to maybe say make an excuse for him, but I think that he had maybe an injury or something that was going on. he was still producing a lot and trying to get out there, but he was definitely getting wrestled and worked on the grappling, I felt like, by Cejudo.
I would say, well, I've heard in interviews, DJ said that he was completely fine going into the fight. He had no injuries going into the fight.
He tore a muscle in his leg when he was doing the kicks.
Yeah, he broke his foot. His foot looked like a balloon. His foot, like, literally, he broke a bunch of bones in his foot.
That's an injury.
And he tore his ACL.
That's an injury.
No, so he got injured during the fight, but he did not go into the fight injured, is what I was saying.
Okay, maybe not going in injured, but there was an injury that occurred
during the fight
that altered his game plan and how he wanted to win that match.
Yeah, and
it was a different DJ than we've ever seen. We never really seen DJ, I feel like, injured in a fight. And I don't know if it was due to I wouldn't say the aggressive leg kicks, but the game plan of him doing those leg kicks, because he was landing a few.
And it worked because it actually killed the nerves in Cejudo's legs, and he rolled his ankle that one time. Yeah. And the reason he rolled his ankle
was because he
literally could not. Yeah, like when you get leg kicked in the right way, like what DJ was doing, it literally just kills the way that your brain communicates with your leg, and he could not move his foot, so he literally like rolled his ankle because he had no footing, because his brain was not connecting to his foot properly, because DJ was fucking up those connections, those circuits, by kicking him. So that was was working out at first, but it's like
then Cejudo got that wrestling going, man. He was DJ would sprawl or try to defend and get away or this side or the other, and he was definitely doing work on the defense from the takedown, but Cejudo was taking him down.
Yeah,
his wrestling, like you saw, great Olympic wrestling.
Yeah, an Olympic gold medalist.
Dude, when I tell you.
Dude, in an interview, like someone from the UFC asked Henry Cejudo, does this championship belt mean more to you, or does your gold medal in the Olympics mean more to you? And he said my gold medal in the Olympics will always be my biggest
it's the Olympics
victory that I've my biggest success or like feat that I've ever done. He said like my Olympic medal means way more to me than this belt.
He said that he's on good. He said he was definitely on like a progression. He's like gold medalist, light heavyweight, flyweight champion, and then he wants to be a dual at bantam. He's really pushing hard to go get TJ to go get that bantam.
And dude, TJ said that he's down to fight Henry. I was watching the Big Brown Breakdown where like Brendan Schaub has TJ on his show.
Yeah,
and on the show, TJ tells Brendan that he actually wants to go down to 125 because he's like
he'll maul him. He feels
because Brendan was like, why the fuck would you go down to the lower weight? You should make him come up to you and fight at your weight. And he was like, no, like I can make that weight easily, and I want to be the 2 belt holder. Like why would I let him have a chance to have a second belt of me? I'm the one who is the better martial artist in the higher weight class, who's more dominant.
Do you think
and I have a bigger name, so I'm going to take his belt. TJ?
Yeah.
I mean, he could. Not a question of if he can make 145. It's a question of if he would succeed at 145.
Do you think he could succeed at 145?
Which is Jose Aldo and
Brian Ortega and Max Holloway getting blessed. Do you think TJ's getting blessed, or do you think TJ doing the blessing?
Dude, I think
so really quick.
Matchups.
We're gonna get into matchups in a little bit, but let's review the fight with him and Cody because. I didn't want to we got ahead of ourselves with Cejudo.
Yeah, we got a little excited.
So Cejudo's on this path to wanting to do gold medal. He's got the fly. He wants to go to bantam. Right, cool. Then the next fight after Cejudo and DJ
is TJ and Cody.
The spark or the athletic, whatever it is, in TJ was very apparent, and he was taken again just like in the first fight. He said that he felt his hardest shot and he knew what it was going to be, and he was like, I'm going to still walk forward.
and he had that you saw his eye after the fight. He took one or a few good shots from Cody.
Yeah.
But the amount of how he was doing his combos and his movement and his body positioning and how he was just finding those areas where he can seam an attack or string an attack together was so amazing.
I think TJ is just way better than... Not way better. I think that TJ is better than Cody, though. I think that TJ is going to beat Cody if they fight again. You get what I'm saying? I think TJ is just... The way that they match up, particularly, TJ is going to win that every time, I think.
So you wouldn't want to see like Cody TJ 3?
I would not want to see that at all.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, Cody got knocked out twice. He got TKO'd twice.
Yeah.
And I called it was going to be a TKO. I mean, he still lit him on. Like,
I think he knocked him out. I don't think so.
I mean, it was a stoppage, though.
It was a technical knockout stoppage, but he was knocked out. I guarantee you, he was knocked out
for a split second.
And Cody was really trying to play it off, and he tried to say some crap to Herb Dean at the end, and I was like, dude, you got popped with the one shot that got you on the ground, right? And then you got popped with the knee.
Oh, dude, the knee was it. After the knee, that was done. That was end of fight,
bro.
After that knee, that was the knockout shot. That was like sleep.
Yeah,
he was asleep after the knee.
Yeah. So I just, like I said, man, hats off to TJ. Congrats, man. You know?
Yeah.
He was really trying to get that jiu-jitsu out there. I know he's been doing with Gracie Barr and the boys, it looked like, in California.
Yeah.
He said that he's going to come back to Colorado now.
Well, he has a house in Colorado.
And
he
has
a lake
to train
house
here, I heard.
He still trains with Dwayne. Like, his head coach is Dwayne Ludwig.
But he just did this camp in California?
Yeah, exactly. He still lives here and trains here when he's at home, but he does all his fight camps in California.
Interesting.
Without Dwayne even there. And then Dwayne comes for his only for his fight.
Yeah.
Only just like when he's actually like fight week.
Interesting.
Or making weight, and then because Dwayne has a gym here that he needs to run.
Yeah.
When TJ's, and that's what I was trying to say earlier. I think cross training is really important. That's something that TJ talks about with Brendan Schaub on their episode together. That he does this cross training, and like Dwayne is so okay with it because Dwayne himself used to travel across the country and train with everyone and fight. He used to like travel and fight and just train.
Like that was his path.
And like and he knows the importance of getting everyone's different looks, getting this guy's looks. He's good at this, and like he's gonna offer me this. He's gonna offer me this.
Yeah.
So like Dwayne is so okay with TJ cross training and training at other gyms. There's no like territorial possession issues there because there is
like
some of that.
Like at certain gyms.
Yeah, there is some of that in different places. So.
We won't mention any names. But anywho, so I thought it was a great pay-per-view. I didn't get to see a lot of the other fights, but I heard there was a lot of great finishes and a lot of great decisions and just a lot of good output from the card. I think another classic card. Well, maybe not a classic card, but definitely a
good card.
A good card. Solid card. And if you're a purist of the sport or just
it maybe wasn't the biggest numbers, but it's like
they said they did a lot.
Really?
They said they had, I forgot how many buys, but it was up there. It was a good amount of buys.
Okay, nice. That's good. That's good for the UFC. That's good to hear.
Yeah, and good for the fighters. And then but before they had the fights.
Oh, you're talking about a press conference with Nate, and are you talking about some Dustin Poirier?
We're talking about
Khabib, some Conor. You're talking about all this stuff,
dude.
Is that what we're talking about right now?
You rushed it, and I want to punch you because it was such a good press conference. There's so many people that have cards coming up. You got Donald Cerrone having a card here, headlining in November 11th.
Who's he fighting against? Something Anderson or?
I forgot who. I forgot
some dude that the UFC's like, all right, Cowboy, fight anyone any day. Here you go.
Let's see if this guy can crack the top 10 because Cowboy is starting to get close to getting out of the top 10. It looks like, but he's going to be fighting out of the Pepsi Center November 11th, which he's going to be headlining the card, which is dope.
I love Cowboy. I kind of want to see that. November 11th?
November 11th.
Dude, we should go to that. We should watch that. I've never been to a UFC.
Just go even the cheap seats just to spend $80.
Joe's going to be there.
No, he's not going to be there. Joe's not going to be there. It's like a Saturday.
Oh, it's not a UFC
John. It's like a John. Yeah, it's like a John.
It's a fight night.
Like probably like Dominic Cruz, Cormier. Maybe might be there.
Well, Joe Rogan does the United States, anything in the country pay-per-view. Yeah.
So no
I
Joe
guess
Rogan.
it's not a pay-per-view. So fuck.
Not a pay-per-view, but
Can't
it's still a
catch
good.
my boy Joe.
Still a good event. Still a good event to go to, and so we have that. But yes, the dun 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 Conor Khabib.
So
October 6th, which is right around the corner.
I have a question. So Dustin Poirier and Nate are gonna fight, right?
After Conor and Khabib. And what's been potentially quiet under, I mean, it's the elephant in the room, but that fight is the number one contender fight in my mind. Dustin Poirier, Nate Diaz. Because here's the thing, I like to see
Ferg.
I would like to see Poirier fight Conor again because I want to see if he can redeem that knockout. Because Conor waxed him at 145.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. There's a lot of things that could happen, but
Khabib could win and continue his undefeated streak. Let's break this down. We're gonna go deep for a second.
So one thing also, a name that's like important that's not mentioned in all of this conversation by anyone is Tony Ferguson, because
it's okay.
He's still in the mix. He's jumping around on bouncy balls as we saw, swinging hammers around, trying to get his knees
ridiculous. To bend. Why the fuck was he doing that? Like, whoever was the trainer that was like, I want you to stand on an aerobics ball,
yeah,
a bouncy aerobic ball. And swing a sledgehammer around your head after you just got off MCL, ACL, LCL, whatever.
After your
CL.
tendons were torn right off the bone,
dude. Dumbest. Maybe not to them. And who the hell knows from my perspective as I sit 40 pounds overweight on this couch right now. But it did not look like a smart thing to do. Yeah. Tony Ferguson, lightweight or lightweight contendership. I'm gonna see you. I'm going to see you after...
Dog, you're talking about the owner of Jean-Jacques Machado's black belt, bro.
Listen, I get that. I totally get that. I respect the art. I respect Tony's striking game. But there's too much, and I might be like WWE fanboy here right now, but I'd rather see these storylines play out of Nate and Dustin and then them fighting Khabib or Conor. Because, think about this. Say if Nate beats Dustin, right? And then you got him, hey, motherfucker, Khabib, talking bring that old Russian stupid ass over here to the States. Fuck that, I'll go to Russia and wax you out there.
Nate Khabib? Oh my
Nate
god,
Khabib?
That would be hilarious.
What?
Dude, there's so many different things that could happen. It could be like Dustin Poirier versus Khabib. Let's say that Dustin were to beat Nate and Khabib were to beat Conor, then Dustin and Conor could have their rematch, and then Nate and Khabib,
Say that again. Dustin and Khabib would fight, and Nate and Conor can have their rematch.
Oh yeah, then it would be Nate and Conor 3. But then, let's
for the title,
or then Tony.
We're just
Ferguson,
getting total fanboys, right?
Or then we forget about
Tony.
Nate.
Tony has to wait for these 4 guys to play out. I'm
really?
sorry. I love you, Tony. I know you're a black belt. I know you had the title. I know you got screwed over due to an injury. I totally get
doing
that.
press for the UFC at the UFC
to unify the lightweight belt. But I'm sorry, dog. We gonna have you just take a quick for a second back seat, just like we just did to Colby Covington, because we got Tyrone Woodley and Darren Till.
Oh, dude, there's so much to talk about.
But lightweight, let's continue with the lightweight. So we got Khabib, Conor, October 6th.
You got Conor. I got Khabib. You got Conor. I got Khabib. I don't think we need to get into any details. You are saying that Conor is going to win in an early round. I'm saying that Khabib is going to win in a late round.
Hold on. Can I just... If it goes past the 3rd round...
Khabib's got it.
Khabib's got it. I just said it.
Yeah.
And I know nobody can heard me whisper that. Nobody, you can't tell me you heard that. And if you did, I'm sorry, Conor. But
it's true.
First 3 rounds, I want Conor to wax that
chin, that big old Dagestani chin.
Bro, he's gonna go to town. I feel like
there's some holes that Conor could really exploit.
And I think the jiu-jitsu potential sprawl that he's been getting with Dylan Dennis and Professor Dennis or Professor Kavanaugh, I think
I don't think that they can offer what Khabib. They can't. They're not good. They not.
Offer him defense against Khabib's wrestling.
I'm saying that their wrestling is not in the same realm as Khabib, so they're not good at imitating. You have to have someone as good at wrestling that's in your wrestling practice that's imitating Khabib's wrestling to get that look. And I don't think that Dylan Dennis's wrestling is nearly as good as Khabib's. You see what I'm saying?
I think Dylan Dennis.
He brings good grappling to the table.
I think Dylan Dennis's grappling and offensive prowess with jiu-jitsu and defensive prowess with jiu-jitsu would give Conor a chance in the first. And if Khabib,
some grappling looks, basically.
Yeah, but if Khabib is going hard in those first 2 rounds of gripping and wrestling, it really depends on Conor's stamina. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving him maybe 3 rounds.
Yeah. And do you think that if Khabib gets Conor down, is Conor wall walking up, or is Conor getting up?
I think he'll do what he did against Chad, and he'll take a couple of shots. And we know that he can take some shots. It's not like he's Conor's got one of the best probably fucking chins in the game.
Well,
he's taking shots.
He hasn't been tested the hardest, but
that's not true. You're getting punched by Floyd Mayweather,
and
you got
punched
Nate at a natural weight for Nate, where he's throwing.
But he's not a knockout. He's not a hate.
He's a
death
top
by
level
mosquito bites. You get what I'm saying? He's high volume.
Holy shit! I hope one day we get famous, and I hope Nate hears this, and I hope Nate can just
beat the fuck out of me.
So, bro,
he will be able to 100%.
But as I'm saying is there's no softness behind them hits. Nate whatever. Nate has pieced up Conor. Conor's pieced up Nate. It's been fair, and it is what it is. But like I said, I mean,
Conor's got a chin.
Connor's got a chin,
can take a shot.
And I think the jiu-jitsu that he's been really putting in with Dylan and Coach Kavanaugh.
I hope he has been. We don't really know.
Yeah, right. But you see him in Dylan everywhere, man. Him, Dylan, and Artem are like the fucking Goodfellas.
3 amigos. The 3 musketeers.
Of the MMA for them. You know what I mean? For that section of MMA. I wouldn't say of MMA.
For their camp.
For
SBG, Island, whatever.
Yeah, Straight Blast Gym, yeah. So you got... So like I said, I'm Irish flag all the way till the 3rd round.
No, you want Conor to win.
I want Conor to win.
I want Khabib to win.
Ooh, but if Conor won, would you be hurt?
I think Khabib's going to win, and I think that you think Conor's going to win.
I think Conor's going to win if it doesn't go past the 3rd.
And think Khabib is going to win.
I want Conor to win, and I want Conor to win before the 3rd round.
Okay.
Because if it's after that, it's going to be really interesting.
So are you picking Conor? You think Conor's going to win?
I think I think his striking is going to be too fast for the shots. The shots will be great, but even if he's getting taken down, I think Conor's going to give him either unique strikes on the way down and then protection and defense like he got Chad. He exposed how Chad was just laying, and you've seen Khabib sometimes when he is doing his wrestling and his grappling, he is smooth like a python and he takes his time, but he's got it. He might have to do it fast, and Conor's just so he's so quick reacting. And when he's doing the elbows, I mean, look how quick he got that in. He got the posture, or he broke down the posture because he had Chad's back of his neck. And he just starts rolling down those elbows on Chad's, literally
top of his
forehead, and then this part of the skull, which is all legal. And he was letting it.
I mean, if it's 12-6, it's not legal. But he had some. He had some angle. He had some angle on it, so it wasn't 12. It wasn't like this to the top.
Yeah.
It was side elbows.
And so, like I said, man, like I said, 3 rounds. I'm not going to be the super Conor fan that says that he doesn't get gas, because we've seen it.
No, but I'm saying, if I'm making you take a pick, do you think that Conor is going to win, or do you think that Khabib is going to win?
I think Conor's going to win.
Okay.
I think Conor's going to win because he will be creative and he'll be fast and he'll be.
I know why. Yeah, I mean, I know why he's going to win if he wins, and I know why Khabib's going to win if he wins. I think everyone knows how. if anyone
I
gets
also
their
would be
game
really
plan
curious.
going,
I really think he might even just whap on those legs and whap on that body with those legs.
well, we've talked about that spinning back push kick that he does to the solar plex of those boys and fucking
Just
sends
like,
them,
it's
launches them
time.
into the cage, launches them into the fence.
Notorious.
That little spinning back right in the solar plex.
They're not going to touch gloves. We know that.
Probably not. Yeah,
We're going
that's
to
a good
talk
point.
about the first 10 seconds.
I bet Khabib would be down, but I don't think Conor would.
Nope.
But then again,
No,
Khabib's
fuck no.
a bad motherfucker. He's like a
Khabib is not
gangster.
going to shake hands. No.
Yeah, that's true.
They're
That's
not
true.
shaking hands, and it's gonna be ding ding, and he's gonna take the few, like, he'll may take 5 to 8 seconds, and then you'll just see, just.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing, like, they say that, or what Khabib has said is, like, in his last fight, he was feeling his boxing a little bit. He wanted to box a little bit, and that got
wrong decision if he does.
Yeah,
that.
exactly. That was not what he should have done. His coaches said that they did not want him to do that. They wanted him to grapple, and he thought he was the shit. Like, he was like feeling his boxing,
And then he went 5
and
rounds
it
with
didn't
Ally
look that
Clinton.
great when he was feeling his boxing. It didn't look too good. And
Yeah.
if he's being stubborn like that, if he's not going to do the game plan, because dude, that's an issue that Khabib has. When he got lit by Michael Johnson, his coaches said he was not abiding the game plan. He was like kind of trying to do his own thing in there, and he was not listening to them. So if he's stubborn and he tries to like stand up with Conor, ooh, rough night for Khabib, you know. But if he like uses his grappling and uses his strength the right way, like, I think he's gonna win.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think if he, like you're saying, well, there's so many, like,
who knows what could happen. It's an MMA fight. Like, Conor's
it's 50-50.
Conor's someone you don't want to scrap with. Like, Conor's a dangerous
And I wouldn't
scrap
even, like,
partner.
I mean, I would be bummed for Conor if he lost, but I wouldn't be mad if Khabib didn't lose, because that's a huge streak of wins compiled, and then he's people's like, oh, he's won 20 something plus and he's undefeated, but like, what's his competition? Well, all right, well, then he would have had a strict
He would have a huge
with Conor
thing under his belt. Yeah, like
with
a huge
Conor.
accolade of
and
Conor.
then him even defending against Dustin or Nate, whoever wins that,
Another big
freaking thing.
accolade.
Another big accolade. And then you do Tony. And then I would say Tony would win.
Against Khabib.
Yes.
Whoa, because Tony's so good at jiu-jitsu off his back.
Yes.
Because Tony, of those three, has the best guard and the best, like...
in the game. And, like,
Brian Ortega, I think, has the best guard in the game.
yes.
For me, in my opinion.
Yes. They're both really
They're both
phenomenal.
They're both black belt.
They're
high
both
level.
phenomenal. They're both, yeah.
For sure.
So
Okay, so let's say we know, everyone knows.
So
what
how
we
this
think.
plans out, if we're doing, like, do you want to talk about lightweight? Just plan out the next year and a half.
Oh, because no, dude, there's so much. There's too much. Like, because
Okay.
I have, the boy Kevin Lee. He's like
Yep, he's the homie coming up.
I think there's gonna be good, bright things in his future. He's young. He's 25 right now, or 26 now.
Yeah.
So I
Some
want to
growing
talk a little
pains.
bit about T Wood.
Darren
and
Till.
Welterweight, the weight class,
I think-
170,
I think-
what I would be cutting to.
Can I tell you?
Darren Till's a big boy. Dude, the neck on that dude is like my neck. Like, my neck goes straight from my ears to my shoulders. That guy has no neck. Like, his neck is wider than his head. I was watching
And he's already got a large head too.
and he already has like a wide, fat head. Like, I was like watching a video of him earlier, and I was like, God, the neck on that dude is thick. Dude's got a thick neck. Dude's a big boy. He's a thick boy. Like, I would not want to take those Thai round kicks from that dude. That dude has nasty Muay Thai. Like, nasty Muay Thai. Ugh.
All right, so you ready for my pick?
Uh-oh. I want to hear it.
Woodley in 2.
I think Woodley's going to win as well.
In 2. I don't know if you want to say 2, but I'm saying 2.
I couldn't call around. I don't know.
Maybe even 3, but
I think it's going to be due to, like, grappling.
I think it's going to be due to knockout. I think he's tired of people talking snot about his stuff, you know what I mean? And talking about how his stand-up and how, he didn't really throw on that.
How he's not entertaining.
He's not entertaining. He didn't throw on that Damian.
He's
Maia
ready
fight,
to put on a little
but he
show.
put in one of the most impressive knockouts against Robbie Lawler, one of the knockout kings.
Wizards, yeah.
And wizards of MMA. You know what I mean? And
I mean, I don't know, man. I think that Tyron Woodley is a master of MMA. I think he's really smart, like really high fight IQ. I think he's really hard to hit in MMA range.
Yep.
Like, I think Darren Till is a better Muay Thai striker. Darren Till's like textbook better striker, I guess. But I think for MMA, I think even Tyron Woodley is a better MMA strike. I think it's gonna be tough for Darren Till to get his Muay Thai going on Tyron Woodley standing. Yeah. Tyron's good at not getting hit. Tyron's really good at setting up only powerful shots for him. Like, he only enters when he knows, like, it's his pocket. It's his opportunity to explode.
Yeah.
Like, he does not do dangerous stuff, you know?
Yeah.
He plays things smart, and that's why he's, like, not entertaining, but that's, like, what I want to see, because he's so calculated and smart about his striking. He's so intelligent and high fight IQ.
Yeah. And and then you have Valentina Shevchenko, I think I'm pronouncing her last name right. She's trying to go for the flyweight championship, and I think she's gonna win. I think she's been
against Rose.
Maybe strawweight. It could be strawweight.
It's either Rose.
It's not against
Amanda.
Rose. It's not against Amanda.
Or Cyborg.
It's not against Cyborg.
Who else is there? Isn't there only three?
No, there's a fourth championship belt for women.
Who's the other champion?
I can't remember her name, but
what?
Yeah,
Would I recognize her name?
No, I don't think so. You might.
Oh my god!
But Shevchenko is gonna probably win the title. She looks like the Drago of like females, and she's super gorgeous. And I've already seen her throw hands, and she's got some hands.
She like knocked out a dude, right? I feel like I've heard about this chick. I think there's a video of her knocking out a dude.
I think potentially. Well, maybe she might have knocked out a dude too. I have no idea. And I just know,
like, in a fight, in a Muay Thai fight, like in a sanctioned fight.
Wow. What?
Like a striker knocking out a male striker that's like in a kickboxing or Muay Thai fight.
Like I said, I've seen her strike before, and she is a beast.
I could be thinking of someone else, but.
And so, and then what is it? Justin Gaethje and James Vick.
Gaethje, yeah, Justin Gaethje and what? James what? Vick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's on the come up, huh?
Vick's on a 4 or 5 fight winning streak.
Yeah, man, there's a lot.
I think, and how like their bodies look, like Vick is like a larger body, so I think he's gonna just pick away at Gaethje.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm a Gaethje fan because he's from the area. He like he's trained with Valor. Valor's trained with Gaethje and sparred with him back in the day. And
interesting. We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, he trains with Rose.
Do you think he's got a
303 training center?
I mean, he might have to win this fight.
Yeah, I think
if he doesn't, they're probably not going to retain him.
I think he's not. Yeah, I hope he wins. I would like to see him succeed more than I want to see this Vic character succeed. So I don't know much about him. That's why, it's just like, I don't want to comment. I don't want to say that I want Shevchenko to dethrone this champion when I don't know the champion's name. I don't know if it's a jiu-jitsu black belt or if it's a Muay Thai striker. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about that champion, so I don't want to comment on that fight. Or it's just almost like same thing with Gaethje. I don't really know about Vic, so I know about Gaethje. I kind of want Gaethje to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then we got Donnie November 11th, man. He's like one of the last guys for the year.
Donald.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the December
Cerrone
card.
fan.
I'm really curious to see what the December card is. I want to see what DC's doing.
Man.
I want to see what the light heavyweight happens with that with DC. I want to see the middleweight come back, because what do we got? Who do we have in middleweight? We got Whitaker. He's probably going to be getting a fight maybe around 4th of July of next year.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the spring. Like Whitaker coming back. I mean,
I'm still on that Luke Rockhold train. He's middleweight.
I'm going to tell you.
You're not a Luke fan.
I'm a Luke fan, but it ain't at middleweight. He's going to have to go up to light heavyweight and fight Gustafsson
he's a big boy.
Yeah, but the middleweight...
Dude,
what?
There's a fight. Okay, so Nate Diaz-Poirier is scheduled for a certain card, but it's not the main event. And the main event is not announced yet, but there's speculation that the main event is John Jones versus Gustafsson. There's speculation that the main event of the Nate Diaz versus Poirier card is going to be John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson. This is just word on the street, okay?
Who's word on the street?
This is also from watching Brendan Schaub's show, Big Brown Breakdown, and
Say that again.
Below the Belt.
John Jones,
Gustafson, headline, UFC, I think 229 or 230 maybe. I don't know, 228, 229, 230.
All right, it was the fourth thing on Google.
It's not announced.
It is. It just got announced.
No.
September 27th.
No. Versus Gustafson?
Wait, no. No, sorry. I lied.
Oh, shoot.
Sorry. Damn you, Google.
All I know is that there is a chance that we're going to see John Jones coming up soon. And apparently he's been more active on his like Instagram page, like in the gym more, posting like pad sessions, and like he's been like more excited and in a better mood. I think there's been like some hints that he's coming back.
Interesting.
And unfortunately they're not very public with his old like USADA banning and all this stuff. The thing is, he hasn't fought since he KO'd DC like a year ago. You know, so it's like he's been not fighting. He's been suspended pretty much.
Isn't it amazing how he? Well, I mean, I know there's probably people say it's like the steroids and the cocaine, but he can literally take off time and still come back.
Yeah, he can take off, do a bunch of powerlifting, take some cocaine, and then just head kick DC.
And just kick some booty. Like, I mean, it's truly, like, really, like, he is just a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah, he's like a 0.1%er. He's like a very one of a kind.
The juice.
God dang.
Yeah, man, dang. If that happens, Gustafson Jones.
Oh man, that would be a good fight. I mean, you know, my money's
so they said
on
that
Jones.
They said that on the.
That's what Brendan Schaub was speculating. He wasn't even announcing it. He was like speculating that, because he was saying that for sure Nate and Poirier is listed as the co-main event, and they were saying who's a bigger draw than Nate that could be fighting. And they were listing, is it Brock? No, like who's literally a bigger draw than Nate. Like they were going, like started researching, and then they like found out it's either like John Jones, or it's pretty much like either they're gonna bump up Nate's fight to the main event if they can't make this other fight happen, or it's gonna be John Jones Gustafson. It's pretty much what he was saying, because there's no one else it could be that's a bigger draw than Nate. Like, it's not GSP, because GSP, unless it's GSP Anderson Silva, that's like the only other, dude, that's like the only other matchup that it could be is GSP versus Anderson Silva.
Just to have a fight.
Goat off. Just the fucking goat off.
The goat off.
Seriously, though,
because Anderson
is like
would go down to 170?
It would be a catch weight at like 175 or 180, they say. Because Anderson's a big boy. Anderson's like walking around at like 200 these days, you know? 210 maybe. Anderson's a big boy. Anderson's tall. He's
like
long.
175, you think?
Yeah, the catch would be like 175.
Because George looked good at 170.
Yo, George is thick. That's a big boy. They're both big dudes, but like Anderson's way taller than George, you know?
Yeah.
Or like 2 or 3 inches. And George is thicker than the Snickers.
My mind is just like blown right now. Like,
John,
we probably sound like crap right now, these last like few minutes before we sign off here, but like I'm just thinking, if Jones is on that card with Gustafson, do you just say call that the interim title? But then like, oh, they're not gonna want to see DC. DC's not gonna defend the light. So here we go.
Dude, I've also heard that, you know, before I told you DC said he wanted to defend the light heavyweight and then fight Brock at heavyweight. Now there's recent rumor that he's not going to defend light heavyweight. He's only going to try to fight Brock, and he's only going to have one more fight. That's what the other rumor is from watching Below the Belt. Like,
that makes sense.
So it's like light heavyweight might be up for grabs soon.
So light
he might
heavyweight
relinquish that belt, and then Gustafson and Jones are just going to fight for the throne.
Do you give Jones the title shot right when he comes back again?
Yes, he's the GOAT. Like, it's like there's all this GOAT, like, these GOATs, like, John Jones has never lost. He's gotten DQ'd once, you know what I mean? I think he deserves it.
But
he head kicked the champ, knocked out the champ in his last fight and won, and then got stripped. I think he deserves the shot.
He got stripped for decision making that would cost.
But it could have been like tainted supplement. We don't know. See, we don't know anything. Like, Is he on
We don't-
roids?
right.
Is he on tainted supplements? What is USADA
All right,
doing?
so if he was,
like,
yeah, okay.
so there's a lot of factors that we don't know
So
the answer to.
I think it was proved that there was something that was tainted, but still deemed to being tainted. It did not matter. He still has mandatory 1 year.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
And that's almost over already.
And if they retrobacked it to the date that he stopped.
Oh, yeah.
So he's about to be off, or he is already off now.
So he's back in the USADA.
So you're saying,
pool.
holy crap.
He's been in the testing pool this whole time. He's
been
like...
saying Jones Gustafson for the light heavyweight title.
Yes.
What?
That could be the next title fight in light heavyweight.
Damn. And they doing that before the end of the year, or they doing that for the New Year's card with like Amanda Nunes? They do like...
It's supposed to be on the same card as Nate Diaz Poirier. Whatever that was announced in that press conference.
Oh.
So Nate Diaz, Dustin Poirier is going to be the co-main event, and then John Jones Gustafson is the main event.
Damn.
Some stuff
and
coming up.
And then DC's only just doing Brock, which that's the smart thing to do. And you know
and then
what?
He can...
That's his like Rocky fight.
Yeah, and
right?
Because
like there's big bad Brock.
The big money. It's the big money fight, and it's like him maybe checking off greatest heavyweight of all time.
And like, to be honest with you,
maybe
like,
greatest UFC fighter of all time.
Brock, if he just had the diverticulitis or whatever it's called, like solved at the time when he was fighting Kane and those guys.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna get mad at this, but I think he would have
took Kane.
And I think he would have been able to take Verdum.
Well.
And the Alistair fight.
I don't like to put my money on Brock over any martial artist. You know what I mean?
The
like
Alistair Overeem fight was, again, the liver and the diverticulitis, and he just didn't have a good kick defense, and it was missing out of his repertoire and out of his game.
And Alistair Overeem's a high-level striker.
For sure.
He'll
stand
kick the
up
fuck
and
out
kick
of your legs, out of your body.
Yeah. So, but if Brock was at full 150% health / maybe a little steroids,
a little juicy juice.
But regardless, even without
just
his
juice, regular breakfast,
even the regular without the juice, he's just such
a monster, a force to be reckoned with.
I mean, he has to cut weight to make the heavyweight weight.
Yeah, 265. I mean,
and he walks around at 300 muscle.
He's a real martial artist just because of his wrestling. He's really trained a lot of real wrestling.
Don't get it twisted with them hands. I'm sure those hand strikes are good.
And
with
I'm
his
sure
jabs and his hooks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't want to.
I'm not saying like he's like a fucking heavyweight boxer.
He's not Alistair Overeem, or you go.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Overeem's got.
Imagine if Brock beats Daniel, and then you got Francis Ngannou has like a good fight, and then it's Francis versus Brock, and it's
I would like to see that
mega titan.
But I think Brock would win that because Brock is like smart. Brock like uses his wrestling. He's not like he's not like stubborn and tries to hang and bang. You know, Brock uses his wrestling, and that Brock and Stipe. I think Stipe would win. Wow. That's
Dana
hard.
White, give us a call. We're gonna tag you in this. You better give us a call, dog.
Yeah, there's so much that could happen, but
yeah, and they don't. You know, it's crazy. And you know, like hats off to Dana, like, cause like here's the thing is like that's what I always love in the press conferences when they ask him, and like people are like, oh, like you're for Dana White, Jesus, like the money guy, da 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 da. And it's like, listen, like whatever the hell like his business tendencies are, whatever, but like they are putting the best cards that they can put together with the injuries and lifestyles and everything of all these fighters. I literally feel almost every single time they hit it out of the park, and people want to give him so much shit.
We need Dana. Like he's done so much. Like we wouldn't be talking about this company, this promotion, if Dana didn't start it up and like do what he's done over time. Run this bitch, be the face of it, and be the top dude. Yeah,
and so you know.
So shout out to Dana and shout out to DC. Sorry, back to DC. I'm just happy for DC right now that he gets to be in this position because DC is the guy that's put in so much work over his career. He's just like grinded his whole career, just work after work after work, and it's finally like he's finally in the limelight. People used to boo during DC's fights. That was a thing. That was literally a thing. People would boo at DC, and now people don't boo at DC.
He's
now
like a family UFC loved man.
he's like the UFC dad. Like everyone recognized him as like an amazing commentator, an amazing like fight IQ, wrestler, mixed martial arts IQ, just like an amazing fighter. Like I'm so happy for DC where he's at.
I think this is a real chance for him to solidify himself and maybe shed his John Jones. And I think that might even be a fight that they take him out of. He would come out of retirement for, because here's my thing: is
one day.
Because I'm gonna tell you, if John Jones fixes it, he gets light heavyweight. He does maybe 2 more title defenses. I think he'll fight at heavyweight, and I wouldn't mind seeing John versus Stipe or John versus.
That would be sweet.
John versus Brock.
John versus Brock would be good. Yeah. They're thinking about doing John versus Brock.
And so
that's a thing. That's a thought.
You know, I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. But like I was, you know,
the UFC is hot right now.
Oh, man. So excited.
It's on fire.
We got UFC football's back.
We didn't even really talk about Brian Ortega and all that, but you know, shout out to my boy T City, Brian T City Ortega. That is my boy.
Jiu-jitsu, repping them hands, repping that life.
Yeah, I want T City to be champ next, and I think he's going to be a great champ. That's like who I envision on top in the next few years is my boy T City. That's jiu-jitsu on another level.
Wow. You want to wrap it up?
Let's wrap this thing up. So this was episode 4 of Modern Times. It was August 12th is what it was. It is now August 13th because it is 12:30 at night.
Because we go late night, ladies.
We got that late night studio. And it was a fun one. We talked about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Good talking points.
I really hope that you guys like and subscribe our YouTube YouTube channel. It is called Modern Times Pod. There is a space in between each word. And please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button. We really need subscribers, and we need your guys' involvement and input in order for this thing to take off like we would like. I mean, we're doing this for fun. We're just having fun, having conversations with each other right now. But you know, we want your guys' input.
Instagram, get us on Instagram. I don't think there's really any comments aspect for the YouTube videos, but get a hold of us on Instagram at Modern Times Pod, at SJ Rosenberg 1, at ZKAli36. We will keep getting topic points or try to come up with our own little shtick and do our own things and hopefully say stuff that makes you guys laugh or sees that we're goofy or just want to poke fun that we're doing this. Who cares? We just want to be able to come together and talk about stuff in the best way that we can.
And if you know us personally or you're acquainted with us, and you watch this and you want to come on, send us a text or message us on Facebook or
share with your friends.
Slide into our DMs on the Modern Times Pod Instagram or ZKAli36 or SJ Rosenberg 1. Just slide into the DMs and we'll try to get you on. We'll try to talk about some fun stuff for you guys.
Yeah, dude, it was fun, man.
That was good. I think we're gonna...
I missed you, bud.
Yeah, seriously. I haven't seen you... Well, we did comp training, but before that, we hadn't chilled in 5 or 6 days.
And then even comp training, it went by so quick, and it was dope.
Yeah, we got a couple rolls, but... We're gonna...
He was like, you don't give me shit. That was good.
About to sign this thing off. So thank you guys for listening, and we will see you in the next few days. I think we got an episode coming up in the next few days. Maybe we'll talk about this.
Maybe Wednesday night or whatever, something. We'll figure it out.
We'll get something coming. We'll make our schedules have it. So thanks for listening, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Have a good day.